Welcome to the Nerdcast, the Nocturnal Nerdcast, Pop Culture in the Dark. I am Eric. If it's your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm telling you right now at the beginning, because I don't want to keep saying it as the show goes on. I don't want to repeat myself too many times tonight. Daredevil episode, I'm going to get this out of the way right away. I know everybody wants to talk about it, and we will. I promise you we will. If you want to super chat stuff about it, to talk about when we get to that point, you can go ahead and do that now, and we'll talk about it when we get there. We're going to go over spoilers. I have so much to say. I'll put it this way. It might be my favorite episode of the season so far. I just, pretty solid episode, right? Okay, so we'll talk about that at the end with spoilers. But we have some other stuff to talk about first. So go ahead and bank in your super chat comments now, and we will look at those when we get to the Daredevil Born Again section. As always, we have a goal of 5 super chats on both channels, whether you're watching on the Reloaded channel or the Debunks channel. 5 super chats will get a poll going, and that poll will have options for you to choose from. So there we go. And yeah, that's pretty much it. No real updates right now. I'm still waiting to hear back from Paigey about rescheduling the after party. As soon as I hear from him and we can get that scheduled, I will let everybody know. I didn't forget about it. So yeah, I'll let everybody know when we get to that point. However, we are going to talk about, we've got 2 main topics. We're going to talk about news about behind the scene photos of people that are going to be in the season. We did get a mid-season trailer, which we will look at first. Hold on one second. Is anybody else hearing an echo, or just me? Let me bring Phil up. Is it echoing for you, Phil? Can you hear me at all?
Nope. I can hear you. I don't hear an echo, though. I don't hear nothing. Oh, Lord have mercy. What is this guy's team? Oh, Lord.
All right, there we go. Something on StreamYard. So I got a pop-up before I went live that said StreamYard's having an issue with the YouTube API.
Yep, I've seen that too. I saw that before Lance's stream earlier.
Oh, okay, so it was happening then too? Okay.
Yeah.
I just had an echo. I had to mute everything and then restart everything. I don't know what's going on. I have a feeling StreamYard is getting ready to implement something, and this happens with YouTube too. They fuck shit up, and it's like we know they're about to do something. Right. Anyway, I didn't mean to bring you up so quickly without announcing you, but we have Phil with us here. Thank you for being here and hanging out. I'm so excited to talk about Daredevil. So we're probably going to rush through a lot of the other stuff to get there because I just have so much I want to say, but I want to give people a chance to watch it. I know some people don't watch it right away. I'm literally, as soon as the clock strikes 9, I'm spamming Disney Plus to get to it. I will say, Phil, when you said last week when we talked about this and you said you're going to really want to see the next episode right after watching this one, you were fucking spot on with that, because as soon as it was done, I was like, episode 5, where the fuck is episode 5? But now people are going to be talking about this for a week because we have such a big, massive cliffhanger. And I really want to discuss it, but it's so spoilery, so we're going to put it on the back burner till we get to that point. But I would say this, spoiler alert for me, I think it's my favorite episode of the season so far.
It's my MVP episode. Bullseye's the MVP. This episode is why.
I recorded my reaction to the podcast because I always do that when the podcast ends or when the episode ends. I go in and I watch the podcast. I've been doing that every week. And this week on the podcast is the showrunner Dario, and Wilson himself is on there. So it's a really good podcast. It was a lot of fun listening to that. That will be up on Thursday, guys, as long as YouTube clears it. Fingers crossed so far. They haven't blocked it. So keeping my fingers crossed that that's going to happen with this one as well, because I really, really had a good time listening to him talk about the character of Bullseye and where he came from season 3 all the way till now in Born Again season 2. So there we go. Darren's at work, so sadly... Darren's at work? Really? Wait. Darren works at 11:30 at night?
I believe so. Something like that.
Wow. Okay.
He might be sleeping. I don't know. He might be at work. I'm not entirely sure about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Is She-Hulk coming back? I don't think so because of budget reasons, but the showrunner, we're going to talk about that. That's one of the topics. The showrunner had some comments about it. We'll talk about that. But look, She-Hulk, regardless of whether people liked it or didn't like it, they went way over budget on that show. And it just... Look, when they announced the show, matter of fact, we'll talk about that first, but I want to get this out there. When they announced the show, my biggest concern was how they were going to have a Hulk, a fully VFX CGI Hulk character on a TV show every week as the main character. I was like, how are they going to do this? If it's a cartoon series like What If or something like that, or even X-Men 97, it's not a big problem, but you have to make She-Hulk look like she's a real person existing in the world, like the Hulk.
Right.
And it's just so expensive with VFX.
Yeah, and I think even trying to that's kind of the shit part about the Incredible Hulk IP. Like, they have a lot of really cool characters, like, She-Hulk, Edward Norton, Abomination, right? Like all these really big characters. The problem is they're expensive as hell to put on screen.
Yeah. And when you look at a Hulk property, when you think about TV properties, I think like Daredevil's a good TV property. You know what I mean? Punisher, great TV property. These are good TV properties because you can do like a really long form story with some really grounded characters that aren't just like more reality grounded, but they're also they're good to use in like long form storytelling. Not that She-Hulk isn't, but you look at a character like She-Hulk. This is a character that's big and over the top, and you can do crazy things with her. It's just super expensive. It just is. Like, you can't... There's no edging around the budget on that.
No, there isn't. And it's
we also have... I love the mixture of the vibes here. We got Joe now. So it's Phil and Joe with myself. And
hey.
we're going to be talking... I'm going to bring up this article about... where's it at? With She-Hulk and Brad Winterbaum. I actually watched this whole fucking podcast that this came from, only because I was like, I wanted to get the full context, and it ended up being like a minute and a half of the podcast where they were talking about it. But we're going to read the article here. How you doing, Joe? How's it going for you tonight?
Oh, all right. How about you?
All right. Great day. I had a lot of fun with Daredevil, so... Just my day was like okay, and then I watched Daredevil and I was like, fuck, it's a good day. It's a really, really good
Does
day.
it get better than the season premiere? Because we finally watched the season premiere yesterday and it was so dull.
Wait, did you watch the two together or just the one episode?
Just the one episode.
Yeah, I kind of was like, when it came out, I was like, okay, well maybe people will like, I think Phil brought this up. The show starts out like in one place and then it progresses and gets better as the season goes on, right? Isn't that what you're saying, Phil?
Yeah, it's like a natural progression. I mean, critics thought the first episode was, to Joe's point, dull or slow or whatever. I don't necessarily agree with that, but it just it's a progression. Like, it's a domino effect, and by the end of the season, you're gonna be like, okay, yeah, where we started was a little all right, but where you end it is worth it.
That's what I'm excited for, yeah. Omega said I would crash it, but I haven't seen Daredevil yet. We're not going to talk about Daredevil until the end. It's the last, 20 minutes of the stream. The rest of the stream, we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff. So if you want to jump on, you can. I'll tell everybody, I'll give everybody a big heads up before we even get to that. All right. So the story here is from a podcast. I don't remember the name of the podcast. They'll probably say it here in the article. Marvel TV head Brad Winterbaum has said he'd love to make more She-Hulk Attorney at Law despite the series' mixed reviews and reportedly enormous budget. The Escape Pod podcast. That's where it was. Winterbaum said he considered She-Hulk to have performed well as it found a general audience, and he'd also love to make more, though he also seemed to suggest it was unlikely to happen. So this was one of the things I said back when I was reviewing She-Hulk. Working as a DJ, I work with people. I work 5 nights a week, so I see large groups of people. Holy shit, what a big fucking ad. Damn. Right. I work with different people all the time because I'm always out doing some party or doing a club. And they all know that I love Marvel and DC and all of this shit. So when the show was on, I had a few She-Hulk shirts that I had. Some of them were the comic shirts, like the John Byrne comic shirts. And then other ones were the ones from the show that I got when the show was on. And I had so many people coming up to me. And we can talk about whether this is good or bad for the comic book community or whatever. But so many people came up to me and said, I didn't watch any other Marvel stuff, but I love She-Hulk. They're like, I love it. It's funny. I like Tatiana Maslany because she's been on other stuff that people like, and so they wanted to watch because she was on it. They were told you didn't have to watch any other MCU stuff, which, by the way, I don't think you had to, but there is stuff that happened in She-Hulk that I feel like you'd get a benefit of from watching other stuff, like the Daredevil stuff, maybe some of the stuff with Abomination in it. Maybe, possibly, but you don't have to. But it was funny. It was silly. People being on, like Megan Thee Stallion, they made fun of her being on the show, but a lot of people watched it because she was on the show. And so this show had an uneven balance of appealing to a general audience while having a lot of criticism from people online who didn't like the tone of the show. Right. I've said for a long time, and I'm curious what you guys think about this, but I don't think any of these franchises can survive on just their niche audience. They have to have something more than a niche audience because of the amount of money that goes into them. Like She-Hulk is a good example. It's such an expensive show. If you're not hitting a wide enough net, they're not going to think it's worth it because it's just too expensive to make. I think if you're talking about a TV show that doesn't cost a lot of money or a movie that's got a low budget, you could probably get away with it. But I think we're talking about these big budget movies. You have to appeal to the widest possible audience you can. What do you guys think about that? Do you agree, disagree? And if you disagree, tell me why.
I think when it comes to Marvel, that's something I've heard is that I haven't watched all these Marvel projects. What's up, Omega? But I've seen this Marvel project. I've heard that about Endgame. I've heard that about Iron Man. I've heard that about, as you pointed out, She-Hulk. I've heard it in regards to, matter of fact, a friend of mine who comes on Council, he says he didn't bother with anything. Or no, I'm misspoken. He said his favorite thing post Endgame is Fantastic Four First Step, so that doesn't really count. But I have talked to people who were like, yo, I skipped Captain America, I skipped Thunderbolts, but I saw Fantastic Four, or I skipped, one of those in favor of another.
Right.
It's interesting in that way, and you could even apply that same logic to even some of the DCEU stuff back in the day too. I know a lot of people who are like, I wasn't really too hot on BVS, but I saw Wonder Woman and loved it. Wasn't too hot on Aquaman, saw Shazam and loved it, etc.
Or I skipped Wonder Woman because I wanted to see BVS or something else. There's a possibility of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about you guys? What's up, Omega? By the way, welcome to the stream. What do you think about this? Because essentially, and I want to pull this comment up here. That's not so. I want to make it very clear. Yes, there's probably some issue with feedback on whether or not people like writing or whatever. They have come out and basically admitted that the only reason we're not getting another season of She-Hulk is because it's too expensive. Like that's kind of been the running thing with everybody involved with it, is that it just costs too much money to make the show. So I don't even think if the writing was great, they could justify making another season of it just because of how much money it cost. But anyway, Wonder Man was not nearly as expensive as She-Hulk to make, by the way.
What is he insinuating? Is he insinuating the writing wasn't great on She-Hulk? Because I think it's the second best written MCU show after WandaVision.
No, I agree with you. I had a great time with it. But I think when I'm talking to someone who doesn't like something, like he doesn't like the writing, I guess, or whatever, I'm not trying to convince them to like it. I more want to focus on the reason why the show is not coming back, and I think it is because of the budget, at least from what I've been told.
Absolutely.
The other thing is, it says here, I know you're She-Hulk fans. The guys on the podcast that did this, he goes, I know you're She-Hulk fans. I love She-Hulk too. I'd love to make more She-Hulk. He continued before one of his interviewers countered that it was not realistically going to happen considering the response from Marvel fans online. He said, I know Winterbomb appeared to concede in the podcast. I'll tell you about the She-Hulk. It's one of our best performing shows, which defeats the narrative that people didn't like it.
Right.
It's one of their best performing shows. Now, you could argue that your best friend's cousin's neighbor didn't like it, but that's not really they don't give a fuck about that. I don't even give a fuck about that, really. It just hit the general audience. There was a mismatch between the general audience response and the fan response. And it says here, there's also the issue of She-Hulk's enormous budget cost with reportedly $225 million overall budget that ballooned due to featuring a largely CGI main character on screen for extended periods. For comparison, last year's Marvel movie Thunderbolts: The New Avengers cost $180 million, while TV series Agatha All Along just cost $40 million. So you're talking about a TV show that costs them more than some of the movies they make, and 3 times, 4 times as much as some of the other shows. So even if the writing was A+++, and you were getting everybody watching it, in order to get another season of She-Hulk, it would take years for that to happen. It would be so far down the pipeline if they ever agreed to do it that it just would be crazy. It would be much easier to stick She-Hulk into a group movie where she's a supporting character, just like they do with the Incredible Hulk. Which I know people don't like that, but that's what Marvel does. I mean, that's part of the course for Marvel.
Put her in a Fantastic Four sequel. She was a member of the Fantastic Four.
I would love that. I know
Fantastic Four, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Didn't she replace Ben for a while in the comic?
Yeah. He got his own book and left the series for a while.
Yeah. So I wouldn't mind that. But look, the thing about it is I don't know what Marvel is going to look like post Secret Wars. I have no clue. I know we're getting a Wonder Man season 2, but I don't know. There are rumors about what they're planning on doing. And Phil, you're raising your finger.
And Daredevil season 3.
Yes.
And Daredevil. Well, that's probably coming before Secret Wars because they're filming
actually.
That right now.
In the podcast, the Dario, the showrunner, said that they're already done with all of the main writing for season 3. So all of that is done already. So basically, they just got to head into pre-production on that one.
Interesting.
I do want to push back on one thing you said, though. You mentioned something about the comic book fans didn't like it, or I fully disagree. I think the people who say they didn't like it were not fans of the comic because it was just like the comic. In fact, Dan Slott, who wrote the comic, came out and said it was the most faithful adaptation of a Marvel comic he'd ever seen, and he wrote the comic.
Yeah, so, I was speaking more broadly about the how can I put this? The people that generally say they watch MCU stuff is what I'm saying. Not the diehard comic book fans.
Right.
Because Brad Winterbaum he said in that article that there was a mismatch. And obviously that means that people that typically watch the MCU stuff didn't watch She-Hulk, but they had people that were tuning into Marvel for the first time to watch She-Hulk, which I don't know if they even retained any of that audience because it's a one-off show. So that's another issue are those people going to come back and watch, Wonder Man seasons 1 and 2? Are they going to come back and watch, Daredevil Born Again? We don't know. We have no idea. So,
I'll tell you another funny thing. You mentioned people watching it just because they were Megan Thee Stallion fans. Mm-hmm. I had never heard of Megan Thee Stallion before that episode. Right. In fact, I thought she was a made-up fake MCU celebrity.
People that were watching it with me said the same thing.
Yeah, until we got to the end credits and it said, and Megan Thee Stallion is herself. I'm like, oh crap, that's a real person.
Yeah, several people that were with me were like, is this a real rapper? Is she real? I'm like, yes, she's been around for a while. She's known for popping her ass and stuff like that, which is why they put it in the credits.
Which was... it's what I keep hearing. All the chud channels will have that clip of her twerking with Megan Thee Stallion as just mocking it and making fun of it. I was like, it's She-Hulk. It's supposed to be stupid and silly. It's basically just highbrow Deadpool.
But then they'll praise Deadpool dancing to NSYNC. Yeah. So there's no logic to it.
It's just I thought the show was actually it wasn't 100% for me, but I thought it was funny. I thought it was all right.
What you got, Phil?
To that point about Dan Slott, of course he's going to glaze a show that he influenced. Of course he is. I see exactly what he's doing, and listen. I think Dan Slott's a fine person as far as a writer goes. That's more miss than hit for me. But of course he's going to glaze the hell out of that show. They pulled directly from his run. As far as it continuing, I mean, it's funny when Marvel Television started. They had WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, and then Loki. And Loki turned out to be, in my opinion, the best one of the bunch. And they went right along and thought, yeah, we can continue to do this with our other lesser known characters. Did it with Moon Knight, did it with Miss Marvel, did it with She-Hulk. And look at the reactions for Marvel, Moon Knight and Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel ended up getting into a movie. And yet Moon Knight and She-Hulk are kind of left by the wayside. People are still wondering, are we ever going to get more Jake Lockley? Or are we ever going to see Tatiana Maslany again? Because she's had some very strong opinions in regards to Disney, and I don't blame her whatsoever for having those strong opinions, right? So it's just a matter of where can this character fit in a way that we can use them again without, overextending ourselves financially. And when it comes to like the Hulk stuff, I'm with you, Eric. I think that those characters specifically, because of the fact they cost so much to put on screen, they are better suited for supporting roles in bigger team up movies.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to probably end up doing with any character like this moving forward. So, just is what it is, which is why we didn't get Abomination in Thunderbolts, because that would have changed, that would have ballooned the budget for that.
Oh, totally.
100%. So, Cody here with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Cody. The comic book community thinks they are bigger than they actually are, and turn She-Hulk animated. Look, I'd be okay with continuing the show, and I know Joe probably wouldn't because he prefers live action, but I would be okay with them doing a season 2 of She-Hulk with Tatiana voicing it and making it like an animated thing. I'd be okay with that. I know not everybody would, but
I'll take
that
whatever.
would definitely help with the cost.
Just give me more.
Yeah. But I do also want to point out that one of the biggest issues, and we're going to move on from after this, but one of the biggest issues with the MCU post Phase 3, for me personally, and I think other people would agree with this, and I've talked about it a few times before, is they introduced so many characters that never saw the screen ever again. They came on, they had one thing, and they just never used them again. Like, the number's astounding. I went through, it's like 40 plus characters, main and supporting characters, that get introduced between phases 4, 5, and 6 now, who have only been used one time. The one thing about phases 1, 2, and 3 for me is everyone important pretty much gets introduced in the first phase and a half, and then we get some other people thrown in there, that we use later on or whatever. But like Black Panther's one that I think ended up being relatively important, right? But it's a lot of the main core characters are in those first phases. We get to phases 4 and 5. The two mistakes I think that I made, I'm creating a sub topic here, but the two issues I had were that they introduced far too many characters they didn't follow up on, which I think is a big problem because you don't fall in love with them. Like introducing, for example, the Eternals, right? They put the movie out, it's not well received, and they just decide never to do anything with them again. Or you have Shang-Chi, where they just stopped using him, but they used other characters connected to Shang-Chi all over the place. Even Trevor, who's been in multiple projects, has had more screen time than Shang-Chi has had. So it's kind of crazy that they did that. It is what it is, right? But I feel like that's the issue. The other one is that I think, as cliche as it was, and people may not agree with me on this one, I think that not having some sort of a big team up movie every phase is a problem. I think that's a problem.
That's it right there, because that was your outlet to bring these characters together. And here's where I think they kind of screwed the pooch big time. Instead of doing a Secret Wars TV show or a Secret Invasion TV show, they should have made that Avengers 4.
Yeah.
That should have been the new Avengers movie, because you have a whole new team of people and your enemy is shapeshifters.
Right.
How do you learn to trust people when it could be your own enemy?
You could see Black Widow and it's not Black Widow, or like Yelena. Oh, it's supposed to be Yelena. It's not Yelena. It's supposed to be Thor. Rhodey. It's not Thor. Yeah, you could do that in a movie. Give us like a 2.5 hour Secret Invasion movie. It would have been so much better, because that show, I'm not even going to go there. That show was like, I just want to forget that I ever even watched it. But I just think they could have given a little bit more love to characters they introduced that they just dropped off, for school and never went back to pick them up. So, let's see. We got a $5 super chat from Naruto. Might be too early in the stream, but did you see the creepy email the star of Fairly Odd Parents spinoff talked about receiving recently? No. Hold on. Let me... No. I don't mind derailing a little bit if it's a creepy email. That sounds fun. Hold on.
Creepy emails can be kind of funny, depending on the context of them.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. I don't know what it is yet. I'm giving it a shout out, and I have no idea what it is. Okay. Let's see. Creepy or scary? Is it like a crime? That's what I want to know. All right. We're going to pull this up on screen. I think this is the right thing. God, the ads are crazy on these pages anymore. Like, you can't even read the fucking article. Thank you for the super chat, Naruto, by the way. All right, it says here, Fairly Odd Parents voice actress shares chilling fan threat. It's a threat, so not fun. I completely do not cancel me. I denounce all of that. Chilling fan threat over animated character obsession. Okay, let's see what this email is. The actress who voices Hazel in Fairly Odd Parents: A New Wish, part of the long-running Fairly Odd Parents franchise, shared a threatening email. All right. This right here. Okay, I'm gonna try and read this. It's so tiny. Hold on. All right. Ashley, this looks like, is it email or a DM on Instagram? I can't tell. Ashley, the last time I sent you a message, you ignored me. I really did not appreciate being discarded like that, so I'll try to reach out to you again. You do not have to respond, but I implore you to at least listen to what I have to say. Oh, that's right away. Right away. Yep.
Red flag.
I'm going to assume you did not read the DM I sent you. It's a DM, so it is Instagram. But on the off chance you did, I apologize for using racial... Oh, gosh. There was racial slurs in the previous one? Okay. So I'd just like to reiterate that I am completely in love with Hazel. She is perfect in every way. To say I'm in love with her is honestly an understatement. She is the love of my life. The universe itself has told me that Hazel is my soulmate. And who are you to go against God?
The fuck?
This is a very bad parasocial relationship here, for sure.
This is awful. Yeah. Wow.
By the way, I see that there are a couple of EM dashes in this, which makes me wonder if it was written with AI, because the average person doesn't use those. It's typically something you see in editorials.
Yep.
And people that get Chat GPT or Grok to write something for them typically have these dashes in them. But let's see what we'll continue on. What I'm trying to say to you is that Hazel's voice actress and co-star Ship Dezel broke my heart. She's my wife, and I love her more than anything. God hates you for getting in the way of Hazel's love and my love. Soon you will feel the universe's wrath. Hazel is mine and mine alone. I love her and she loves me. I will never forgive you for the hurt you have caused. I suggest you take down all the Dezel posts you made with interviews mentioning it and stop shipping them if you want a peaceful life.
Wow.
Oh, God.
I mean, I've seen some weird shit in my day, but that is nuts.
Yeah.
That's
all right.
Okay. That was a thing that was typed.
Yeah, and I do think it was AI assisted for sure. So,
most definitely.
All right, we do have a super chat regarding Daredevil. I will keep that separate for later on in the chat. What is this right here? From Cartoon49, $2 super chat. Just saw the drama and plan to see SMGM this week.
What is SMGM?
Yeah, what is that? SMGM? The drama, I know what that is, but is another movie? What is SMGM?
I'm not.
By the way, has anybody else seen the drama yet?
I am not.
Oh, Super Mario Galaxy movie. Thank you guys. Yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yes, I saw that on Sunday.
I saw it this weekend too.
I went to see it on Saturday, but I can't claim I saw it. I fell asleep 5 minutes in.
Did you really?
Tracks.
Yeah, like 5 minutes in, I was out.
Did you go with your family?
Yeah, the whole family went.
So did they enjoy it?
They did. So I'm gonna have to go back and try to see it. Someone at work said it must have been really bad. I go, how the hell would I know if it was bad? I was asleep.
I enjoyed it, but you didn't like the first one, right, Joe?
I didn't. I mean, it's not a train wreck, but
yeah.
I mean, there wasn't much of a plot, but there's not much of a plot to the video game, which
yeah. I mean, like, I'm pretty easy to please because
right.
I remember all of the really bad video game stuff we got over the years. So all something has to do for me is just be somewhat entertaining because, and I know that's a low bar. I know it is, and y'all can get me in the comments for that one. But Super Mario, I'm okay with it being just entertaining. That's all I ask for. Like, I'm not expecting anything big out of it. But everyone that I know that has kids says their kids love it. And that's really all that matters with that movie, because that's going to drive its money up in the box office, and that's all people care about.
Yeah.
Or all the executives care about anyway.
Yeah, they liked it. I'm disappointed. I wanted to see it, so I got to get
Yeah.
out there and try to do a second go.
Drink an energy drink before you go, because that old man sleep stunt isn't good, Joe.
I went to an 1 o'clock in the afternoon show.
What?
So that's
And you fell asleep?
Yeah, that's
Dude,
part of
I
the
went-
problem. I can't go in the afternoon. I got to go at
Yeah.
night. If I go in the afternoon, I'm going to fall asleep.
Really? I can't.
Jake
do night
has
anymore.
arrived.
I can't do night shoot. I can't do night showings anymore because I will fall asleep. I saw it at 9 a.m, and it was spectacular.
I'm a night owl, and my sleep apnea. I don't know why my sleep apnea is worse than the day.
Wait, were you snoring in the theater?
No, I'm not snoring unless I'm reclined. If I'm sitting up, I
Okay.
don't snore.
Okay, gotcha. Jake has arrived. What's up, Jake?
What was that fucking love letter shit you guys were reading?
Oh, that was for
boy.
the for Fairly Odd Parents. Someone got that as a DM on Instagram.
Yikes.
All right. Naruto here with the $2 super chat says, I saw Project Hail Mary this weekend. Great movie.
I gotta
Yeah,
see
it's
it.
probably my favorite movie of the year, even with all the drama surrounding it.
I've seen two
Wait, what
movies this year: Scream and Mario. I haven't seen Project Hail Mary yet.
Oh
Do you have
man,
any interest in it, Phil?
I do, but there's so much stuff coming out in the next few
Yeah.
weeks and months that I'm just
Oh,
like,
and you're going to be working soon too, right? Aren't you?
yeah,
you
right. I
job
start
and
working on
everything,
Monday too, so
so- Yeah.
Still only seen one movie this year. Mario's going to be my second.
man! I went back and saw Scream a second time, just hoping, really hoping I would like it more. I liked it less.
Thank you
know
for the
this
super
is
chat,
funny.
Naruto. Yeah.
From what I-
Oh, go ahead, Jake.
From what I understand, Scream had just as bad a seventh installment as Jurassic Park.
Worse.
it's hard. I
Yeah.
don't like either one,
Yeah.
but like,
Yeah.
fuck, which one do I pick?
Which one are you going to wipe your ass with is really what it comes down to. So
Probably Rebirth, because at the very
Yeah.
at the very least, I can watch that and appreciate it visually, because Gareth Edwards did do a banger job visually speaking with that
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Whereas Scream, it's like, okay, you have some cool kills, but other than that,
I can't imagine what Rebirth would look like without him being part of it. Like, could you imagine if he wasn't
oh god,
part of it?
I mean,
it would have been.
Like, aside from the fact that it looks really pretty, I find little to praise about that movie.
Yeah. Actual Tony Soprano here. Thank you for being here. Your son is great in Daredevil, by the way.
Daniel.
Can you react to the Quarterings Casino? Is it Kino Casino crash out? Is who you're talking about? Can you react to the Quarterings Kino Casino crash out this week? That's the name of the channel he's talking about. He false flagged his detractors and it backfired. It's the biggest grifter cell phone. I don't know a lot. Look, I'm a very busy person, but I do love internet drama. So let me tell you what I know about this so far. Apparently, Kino Casino is a reaction podcast, and they do a lot of shit talking about people, which I appreciate when people do that. But Kino Casino is also very chuddy, very, very much in that space. But they reacted to some Quartering stuff. Apparently, they started talking about his wife, I think.
Oh yeah. I was just watching something before I came on here about that.
Yeah.
I kind of like saw half of it, so I don't
Right.
know exactly what's been going on. But anyway,
Well, they talked about his wife, and then apparently he started false flagging their videos for copyright.
yeah,
because
he
of
was
that.
all, make fun of me all you want, but don't talk about
Yeah,
my
yeah.
wife. But then it's like, dude, you've been trying to cancel people for not being alt-right yourself. So it's like,
It's a very old saying, but I'm going
Yeah.
to say it here, and I'm going to date myself because I don't even know if anybody says this shit anymore. But there's, live by the sword, die by the sword, right? Like if you
Yeah.
are somebody that is willing to go after people's families and make fun of them, and then they do it to you, all you can do is say, you know what? I made it seem like I was okay with it because I was doing it anyway. That's how I feel about it.
As much as it sucks to hear, that person kind of did it to themselves.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's somebody, if it's an innocent person who's never done that, then yeah, I'm going to be like, they shouldn't do that. It's fucking crazy. But when you got two pieces of shit fighting over who's the biggest piece of shit, I'm not sure if I give a fuck. Like,
No good comes out of it.
you can flush all the turds at that point. By the way, I will look into it and do a video if I can find out if there's enough for me to talk about. Lone with the $5 super chat says top 5 Marvel Disney Plus shows. The new animated Spider-Man, so my friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Born Again Season 1. Oh, really? Season 1 specifically? Okay.
Probably because season 2 isn't finished yet.
Yeah, I would say I'm already enjoying season 2 more than season 1, though.
Same.
Hawkeye, which is solid. A lot of people love that show. WandaVision for sure, and Loki, absolutely. Loki is definitely like, you talk about like a show with a real idea behind it. Loki is cool as fuck. Like you have a fucking variant of Loki, like similar to the one we know from the fucking first Avengers movie that gets tossed into the TVA. Like it's great, great show, great premise.
Those
Cartoon 49. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say those weren't my complete picks, but it was still a pretty good list.
Yeah, I think it was okay. I'm good with it. Let's see here. Why is my...
If they were counting outside of MCU, I would have put X-Men 97 up there, but I don't know if they were.
That's a good... It says top 5 Marvel Disney Plus shows. It just says Marvel Disney Plus shows. It doesn't say MCU, so...
So then at that point, X-Men 97 would count, because it is from Marvel Studios.
Yeah.
Yep. Cartoon 49 with a $5 super chat says the drama was... By the way, if anybody's super chatting about Daredevil, I'm going to answer them when we get to the Daredevil portion. You can go ahead and put them in there, but we'll wait till Daredevil. Cartoon 49 says the drama was stressful as fuck. Yes, for sure. Also, have you heard of John Roca, Dan Murrell, and 3C? Oh, I almost had a flashback of something else there. 3C films.
Yep.
They're YouTube movie reviewers worth. Did you get that?
I felt it.
Worth watching. John Roca, I'm familiar with. Does Dan stream with John? I know that he's on a podcast with 2 other guys.
No, Rocha streams with some fool named Jeff Snyder. He looks like a disheveled rat.
Oh, the N. Snyder. I hate that guy.
Yeah,
he's awful.
I hate that guy.
He actually okay. I don't know if I ever told you this story, but when Across the Spider-Verse was starting to have its voice cast announced, Boris Kitt put out the story that Issa Rae had nabbed the voice of Spider-Woman. Mm-hmm. Snyder then takes it upon himself to run that same story, and Boris Kitt responds like, "Hey man, thanks for giving me credit. Oh wait, you didn't, right?" Something in that vein.
Yeah.
I left a comment under Boris Kitt, and I was like, yeah, well, that's not surprising. Jeff Snyder, classless thief as always. Then I'm blocked by Collider and his main account. Then this fool DMs me on Facebook and goes, classless thief, huh? And I'm like, bro, get the fuck out of my DMs. Who the fuck do you think you are?
You know that phrase, the guilty speak first?
Well, also, I know this isn't related to what he does for a living, I guess, but he had this funny thing that happened. I think it was either last year or the end of 2024, where he posted up this thing about not being able to find a girlfriend or something like that. And he was like putting up thirst traps about himself. Do you guys remember that?
Yep.
People DM me pictures of this, and I was like, wow, what a pathetic nerd.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
And in fact, he was getting into it with a buddy of ours online, and he actually, you know him, Eric. He was getting into it with Lance online. And,
oh really?
Yeah. And he started talking about, oh man, no, Lance, your sex life's really sad. I took that same thirst trap picture of Jeff Snyder posting that shit. I replied to it with the comments. I said, "You want to talk about sad?" And I threw that picture up. He shut up immediately.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely drama. I'll check out all those channels. There, somebody's saying 3C is a good one. I don't not familiar with 3C films, so
he was also several months ago. Jeff Schneider was like putting up this like thing where he was going like, I went to screenings of movies and a high up network or a high up studio executive was blowing me during the movie.
Oh my
God,
I'm like, what the fuck?
And I'm reading this and I'm just like, you think this makes you sound professional? Like, I mean, like I'm reading this and I'm just thinking like, I'm thinking less of you. Like, so you weren't even watching the movie. You said you're reviewing the movie?
Dude, he's so vile in so many different ways. It's not even worth the engagement. And honestly, a lot of people put so much stock into his bullshit. The only things he's gotten like right are anything Disney related. And I firmly believe it's because someone at Disney feels bad for him because he's been blacklisted by 3 different news outlets. The guy can't hold a job because he's hot-headed and he thinks he knows everything. But in reality, he's just a sad, strange, balding little man who has nothing going for him, and he will always be a pathetic little shit stain.
And I wonder when Joe was talking about the whole like getting a blowjob in the movies or whatever, it's like, is he saying I was on the edge of my seat It was so good. It was a 7 out of 10. What, oh, you mean the movie? Oh, I don't know about the movie. I was rating something else. I'm sorry.
Every other thing that fool has gotten right has been regurgitated from something a more reliable source said.
Too funny.
I love how every DC rumor he's gotten has been completely shut down and wrong by James Gunn.
Yeah,
that much has been fucking hilarious.
And then he goes after James Gunn, like James Gunn's like a liar or something. Like,
yeah.
It's like, well, let's wait and see. Is it going to happen? Oh, no, it didn't. Okay.
I've heard certain things in regards to James Gunn not being totally honest, but I won't disclose that publicly.
We got Z Kid here with a 199 super chat. Marvel Zombies getting a second season. Yeah, I enjoyed the first season of Marvel Zombies. I think that it got a little weird towards the very end. It was a little crazy, but it did end on somewhat of a cliffhanger. So I'm glad we're getting a second season. Did anybody else watch Marvel Zombies? And if you did, are you ready for a second season?
Absolutely.
I enjoyed that first season.
Question is it going to be 4 episodes again, or will they do a couple more?
Oh,
and also will they drop it all at once?
That too.
Yeah. Jed says stream okay. I guess is something happening to the stream. Says we got over 100 people watching, so I'm hoping that
oh shit.
Okay.
Come on, push those comments up if there's that many people watching.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about this. And anybody asking, have you missed the Daredevil chat? No, the Daredevil chat's going to be in about 30, 35, 40 minutes. So you haven't missed it yet.
You guys can just catch up later.
Yeah. Andy Serkis returning as Alfred in DC's The Batman 2. Now, apparently, this was also holding up production, right? Because they had to wait to find out if he was going to be available to come in and work. I've seen some talk about this as well, before we read this article, that there's a possibility, depending on how this all plays out, that if Paramount gets Warner Brothers, which we got some more news about that in a moment, but if Paramount gets Warner Brothers, Jake is shaking his head, I know he loves it, they're going to see the Batman franchise as a more profitable endeavor than the DCU. Do you think that's true? Does anybody else think that's true?
It's a tough call.
Yeah.
Because the DCU is still literally in its infancy. I think we'll see something more concrete after Clayface and Supergirl do their numbers and perform. But as of right now, it's kind of tough to say because this is a sequel 5 years after the fact. I'm actually more mad at the fact that this movie was technically sidelined so Superman could get made. That's one thing that was confided into me from someone I trust. And I think it's a shame, but at the same time, it's like, that movie made like 700+ million, and I could see I could absolutely see David Ellison putting some goofy mandate like that, but time will tell. I'm kind of with Jake. I really hope this merger just falls flat and fails, but we'll see what happens.
You mean putting out that update that reeks of desperation?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, plus, like, not only is the DCU in its infancy, the Batman is still only one movie. So
yep, that too.
By the way, Jake and anybody else is interested, check the private chat if you want to offer up some stuff for the poll. I'm going to take some suggestions if you guys want to do any list. The article says here, we confirmed that Andy Serkis will reprise his role as Alfred Pennyworth, Bruce Wayne's butler, and Matt Reeves' follow-up, The Batman 2, which commences shooting in June in London. Essentially, what required solving was reconciliating Serkis' production days on DC Studios' The Batman 2 and the next New Line film he's prepping, Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum, due out December 17th, 2027. Looks like he's going to make both shoots work. So he's going to be very busy this year, and then next year he's going to be in 2 big movies, right? Unless, wait, is Batman 2028?
2027.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think we're still going to make that date? Do you think it's going to happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
If they start shooting in June, which I've heard April, May, and June, I'm not entirely sure when this movie is going to film. But if it starts filming this summer and they're allegedly going into, I think, November, or at least Serkis is going into November. I don't know. I could see it making its October date. It wouldn't shock me because it's not like the first film was super VFX heavy, because it wasn't, and I don't see that being the case for this one. But at the same time, it's important to keep in mind that that movie was made during COVID, so the budget did balloon a little bit because of COVID.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So this one, on the other hand, has the luxury of, hopefully, knock on wood, no production issues while filming. So it should be a much more streamlined, cleaner process than the first film, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So I always ask this because I always want to gauge where everybody's at. How many people are waiting on the edge of their seats for the Batman Part 2? Is anybody really? No. Okay.
Say the question one more time.
Is anybody on the edge of their seats for the Batman Part 2?
Yes, because I am a diehard Batman fan. Batman is my favorite fictional character of all time.
Okay, so specifically because of Batman, right? That's your character. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know some people are not happy with the direction of this like year 2 Batman thing or whatever they were doing in the first movie. So
you know, I'm kind of past like this notion of like what I want in a Batman movie, because I've gotten that kind of in a sense with certain other movies, and when it comes to this, you know, I'm just like, let Matt Reeves tell the story he wants to tell. Because when I was younger, like when the Dark Knight trilogy was really starting to take off and that third film came out, I was very like nose in the air, highbrow, pretentious about it. Like, this isn't like Nightfall. This isn't like any of this. That's not Robin. Like, you know, all that goofy nerd shit people bitch about online these days.
yeah,
I don't really, that shit doesn't bother me anymore because of the fact that like there's so many different versions of Batman in the 80 plus years he's been around. It just doesn't bug me anymore. I'm just happy to have a good story told. And I'm happy to, you know, as Zack Snyder famously says, what the most important tool in a director's toolbox is their point of view. And I think Matt Reeves has a very interesting point of view for Batman because his Batman to date is the most detective driven one of them all.
yes, I agree with that.
So
Yeah,
that's just kind of where I'm at with it.
You know, something you're saying is, I think we've talked about it. Omega's probably been here when we talked about it. I know Jake has been here when we talked about it. 'Cause it was like at least a year ago. But a lot of people who like Batman really just like Batman. Like they just want to see Batman stuff. And that's okay because they're giving everything a shot, you know, whether it's like a detective story or something over the top or an animated series or something like that. They're willing to give it a shot. A game, yeah. So they're giving it a shot because Batman is one of those characters that they've done so much with over the years. You can take him down and make him just this detective guy who's out there trying to solve crime and he's got cool
It'll
gadgets.
still be interesting.
Or
And that sells.
yeah. Or you could make him like this fucking badass like ninja character where he's just out kicking ass and it's not so much about detective work. It's just about fighting, you know, and it all works because I think everybody that loves Batman really just wants to see Batman. And I think Spider-Man's also in a similar spot. Like Spider-Man is a character that a lot of people are just willing to go out to see anything that Spider-Man's going to do because they love the character. So that's why both of those movie franchises typically do well, is because, you know, people are just willing to go out and spend money on it.
They are the top grossing superheroes on the planet. Spider-Man and Batman have the most merchandise of any superhero ever. They are in a league of their own when it comes to box office.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I mean, like, they've gotten really lucky with, especially Spider-Man, because like not only have they gotten multiple live action versions, they've gotten multiple versions that are beloved, and it's still feeding them money. Like there's games in the works currently. Like there's an established game franchise. You have an established animated franchise. You have a current ongoing series in MCU right now. You got a new branch of Spider-Man TV about to come out in a couple months. It's, you know, that Batmania phase that people talked about in like the late 80s, early 90s? I feel like we're kind of in one of those again for Spider-Man right now.
Yeah.
Batmania comes in waves, but Spider-Man also has it too.
Yeah.
Because
go ahead.
you had, you know, Batman 89, Batmania. You had a little bit of Batmania with 95 and Batman Forever. And then again with The Dark Knight, right? And then I would even say again with Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
And then even again with the Batman.
Yeah.
Like Batman inherently sells tickets at the box office, and Spider-Man, you could call it Spider-Mania. It's the same concept, dude.
Yeah. And whenever those Arkham games were coming out over the last like 14 years, there was waves in there too.
Spider-Man 2 on Insomniac. The hype for that game was off the charts.
The Injustice games was another one. The Lego Marvel games, so it's everywhere.
Lego Batman.
Lego Batman about to come out. Yeah.
Next month.
We got Cody here, member for 75 months, who squeezed in a comment. This is so great, into the member chat here. From my understanding, my understanding, Zombies was 4 because it was a movie. So that was the original season was broken up into 4 episodes because it was going to be a movie. Apparently.
Interesting.
Yeah. All right. Lone Wolf here, the $5 super chat. Did you guys hear X-Men film got Emmy writer from? I have that article ready to go. We're going to talk about that in a moment. They said X-Men will take inspiration from Chris Claremont's comic. You could not give me pass me the lube. Anybody like straight up? This is like butter for me. It's like Chris Claremont's run the late 70s into like the 90s.
Right, it's like that doesn't narrow it down.
Yeah. It's a huge run. Yeah, he was writing the X-Men for like 2 decades.
It'd be the same thing as saying it takes inspiration from Jim Lee's run. It's like how fucking long that went.
Yeah, it's like finally we're getting good X-Men. Jesus.
Yeah. We're going to read that article in a moment. It's a pretty good article. Lone Wolf here, the $5 super chat. So I heard Campia talk about it today. I asked Bobo on stream today about it. Now I want to know how you guys chances they show Doomsday trailer at CinemaCon. When is CinemaCon?
Next week.
Next week.
Yep, next week.
I don't think we're going to get a full Doomsday trailer at CinemaCon.
Really?
I think we won't get it.
Right.
But they will. And
they did that with Aquaman at CinemaCon a couple years ago, the Aquaman trailer.
Yeah,
we went to CinemaCon and then we didn't see it for like 4 months till we got
something just for press or like
theater owners.
Just for precedent, all of them, and it'll get leaked out.
We will find out what the trailer has in it, but we will not see it. So that's the
we'll get a leaked 480p freaking video. It's gonna be
I mean, we've got a couple friends going to CinemaCon, so we'll know.
I don't think we'll get that either. From what I understand at CinemaCon, they collect phones before the panels.
Do they?
Yeah,
they do. But I'm just saying, like, they're probably going to be there's going to be a description after it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, someone's gonna smuggle one in their prison pocket.
Yeah.
Oh my God! No.
I'll calm down.
That's funny. No, that's funny as fuck. I'm glad you said that. That's hilarious.
Didn't they do something like that for Deadpool and Wolverine too, where they got some sort of exclusive look at a CinemaCon?
CinemaCon's been very lucrative post-COVID because it seems like they've tried to turn it into a mini Comic-Con. With like some of their releases and stuff. I think we will definitely see something Doomsday related with Spider-Man. I do believe we will see something with Spider-Man.
Did you see?
I'll do you one better. I think it's coming with Toy Story, not Spider-Man.
Ooh.
I mean, did you see RDJ's like Easter egg post where it had all those different symbols on it?
I did, but I have no fucking clue what that is. Do you know what it is?
I think it's just hinting at characters that are in the movie that we already knew and some that we didn't officially know yet.
Oh, okay.
I think he's just taking time to make Doom-related posts for every holiday.
Yeah, or every big event. He did it for Super Bowl too.
He did it for Super Bowl. He did it for Valentine's Day. He did it for St. Patrick's Day, and he did it again for Easter. And I'm just like, okay, are you going to do something for Cinco de Mayo or
Mother's Day?
Columbia Rica says, could somebody come in with one of those Google glasses and record that way? The problem is they're very obviously Google glasses. I know you're joking, but like people know what they look like now, so it's hard to get away with it. I do see some options here, so we're going to. I'll be doing the poll in a second. Go ahead, because I need 4, so feel free to submit.
Yeah. I was asking if that one was used yet. Let
me see. Hold on.
If it was, but then I also put another one in there.
No, that first one has not.
Okay,
that one hasn't won yet.
We'll just throw both of the one that I put in there.
Okay.
All right, I put one in there.
Damn it, Omega.
We got this here. A little bit of Star Wars talk. Where's Ronan? Where's Ronan at? We got a little bit of Star Wars talk here. And I thought this would be interesting to bring up since we have both Omega here and Jake, who also loves Star Wars. Phil, you said you're like a casual guy like me, like you just kind of like whatever with Star Wars. You're not deep in the lore or anything like that.
I'm a little, I don't know about casual, but I'm not super steeped in Expanded Universe, but I have studied Expanded Universe from time to time. So,
okay. And,
you know,
Joe, what about you? Are you more of like I watch movies and shows, or do you know more about the Expanded Universe of Star Wars?
I don't give 2 craps about the Expanded Universe. In my mind, I'm it's Star Trek rules. If it doesn't happen on screen, it doesn't count.
Right. Eric and his polls. You know what I'm saying, Chris? So, Jay Bird says they were quick to go from Kathleen bad to Filoni bad. LOL. Yeah. So this is what Mark Hamill says. Mark Hamill supports Star Wars boss Dave Filoni following Kathleen Kennedy's exit after 14 years. And this was the quote: "I can't think of better hands for the franchise." Hamill notes that Filoni understands Star Wars so well, having worked directly with George Lucas on Star Wars The Clone Wars. Plus, Filoni has been involved in great stuff like The Mandalorian. George was a mentor to Dave, so he knows George's sensibility. Hamill adds, what do we think about this? Any opinions about this? Because I know it's a pretty hot topic about whether or not Dave Filoni can handle it. I think Dave Filoni is a fine pick. I think he's the most logical pick, but other people disagree. You guys, what do we think?
I have some misgivings with Filoni, but overall, I think it's in good hands. Because even Mark Hamill was saying like he did not like how Luke was portrayed during the movies, and I completely agree. So being that he's come out and said that, I think this is good. If they probably talked, it's like, okay, here's
not exactly what he said.
I mean, not exactly. I'm kind of
paraphrasing
here, but
he actually said that he agreed with where they took him in the movies. His gut instinct when he first read the script was that this isn't what he would have done, but he said after he saw the final product, he actually agreed with it.
You know, I think it's really funny that a lot of Star Wars fans think they know better than the people who work on Star Wars.
Yep.
That will never not make me laugh. And so, I have my own opinions on that sequel trilogy. Like, I have no problem saying that I think the Last Jedi is the weakest one for me. But I would also then say at the same time, the best thing about The Last Jedi in that movie for me is everything pertinent to Mark Hamill and The Last Jedi and Luke Skywalker.
Of course.
I liked what they did with his character, and I liked that they had, in a sense, did what George would do, and they had a bit of, poetry. It rhymes. Now Luke is the older master, the hermit. Why is he a hermit? Because he failed his Padawan in the same way that Yoda and Obi-Wan failed Anakin. Except this time, it's much more personal because it's his nephew. And that makes everything so much more... It hits. But when I also think about The Last Jedi, I think about, the Canto Bight bullshit. I think about a lot of the other goofy shit that Rian Johnson did. And I kind of wish that there would have been someone to go over his script and maybe not say doctor it, but just, go over it. Like, why did Rian Johnson get free reign on that movie when Lawrence Kasdan and J.J. Abrams had, worked so hard on The Force Awakens, right? Lawrence Kasdan, the guy who did, if I'm not mistaken, Empire, right? Yeah. So it's just so odd to me that they gave Rian Johnson so much freedom and creative control over that one project, whereas the other two were like very under a microscope, very like we need to do everything not necessarily by the book, but we need to, make a movie that people give a shit about. And then The Rise of Skywalker is a whole different conversation because that was meant to be one movie, and then it became another movie because of a very personal tragedy. So that's a whole other conversation. But as far as like Dave Filoni handling Star Wars, it's the best case scenario. And on top of that, he's not doing it alone. Studios, more specifically, Lucasfilm kind of took a note out of Warner Brothers' page and went, they've got James Gunn and Peter Safran running DC Studios. Maybe we should do that with Star Wars. Have one person focus on the creative, one person focus on the business. Smartest decision you could do at this point in time right now. Disney just did the same thing.
Yeah, I always get annoyed whenever I see people who like to throw the book at Kathleen Kennedy, and their fucking entitled nerd side really shows, because all of a sudden they're talking as though they could do the job better, and I know for a fact that they would crumble on day one.
No, I'm gonna say I don't agree with some of what you all said, but I'm not. No, I'm not going.
Well, you were entitled. You were entitled to disagree with stuff here. Like, it's all good.
Cool. It's just no. I mean, I'm not going to be one of those chuds who throw everything at Kathleen Kennedy, because she did do a lot of good. I think a lot of like the side stuff has been really good. It's just my main hate is just towards those movies. I just effing hate them.
So which one? Because she did 5. She had Solo. We had Rogue One, and then
the sequel trilogy.
Yeah,
and technically, Mando and Grogu and Starfighter, she will have her name attached as EP. Those were the Starfighter is the last movie she greenlit.
Right. Yep. So Omega, did you just like all of her movies, or just
not all of her movies? Just episodes 7, 8, and 9. I hate those movies so much.
So you didn't have a big issue with Solo or
no? All the side stuff has actually been fairly decent.
Okay. All right.
I mean, if anything, Kathleen Kennedy did the thing that George Lucas could not do, but that's not a slight at George Lucas,
right?
Because George wanted so much more for Star Wars, but he just couldn't get the financial backing at the time, and also the networks that he shopped his Underworld show to, they were like, yeah, this is great, but it's going to cost a fuck ton of money.
Right. Yeah. And like him, like saying that he can't do that, again, that's not a jab at him. That was self-admitted. So
And he even said to himself, he's like, why would I continue making movies for people when all they're going to do is get mad at me and shit on me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Columbia Rican with a $5 super chat said, here's a donation. Thank you, Columbia Rican, for the super chat. Just woke, man. Sadly, I missed Ronan's stream because I wanted to talk Star Wars and have you guys watch Maul. Definitely Andor level good. Well, it's only 2 episodes so far, right, of Maul? Because that's the 2 that I've watched. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a really cool story to go after. Again, I'm not afraid to admit that I'm just a casual Star Wars person. So for me, this is a really cool story about a character that I really love that I didn't get a lot from, even though I know the expanded universe heavily went into the backstory for Maul.
Rebels did a lot with him.
Well,
Yeah.
now they pull from the EU a little bit for what they do with Maul in canon.
Yeah.
Is it Xandar? What is the name of Maul's?
He's a
race?
Zabrak. They're from
Zabrak,
Dathomir,
yes,
but he's Dathomirian.
Dathomir's
but
Zabrak.
that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, it's really cool. I'm excited with the show. I think it's really good. I think that it's a lot more mature. I know it wasn't for kids, but it's a lot more mature than I thought it was going to be, and I do appreciate that.
Dismemberments and all this. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, I'm about waist deep into the Star Wars lore and all that stuff. But one of my main problem with Dave Filoni is that a lot of his stormtroopers and even the battle droids are just incompetent, and I just hate incompetent villains. I mean, they're just dumb.
Yeah.
That's my only complaint about
fair
Dave
enough.
Filoni.
Yeah, but think about it. They've been dumb since Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
The battle droids specifically. I can't really fault you on the stormtroopers. They've always been kind of inept. I mean, they miss all the time. But the battle droids have always been kind of
It's just with Filoni's work, they're just worse.
That's.
I just hate incompetent villains. That's
I mean,
my main thing.
you've seen that the battle droids get folded like tinfoil paper within the
Oh
first,
yeah.
true.
within the first 5
Yeah.
minutes of Phantom Menace, where they're just sweeping them away.
So is everybody else watching? I know, Joe, you're not watching Maul, right? The cartoon.
I haven't seen it yet. In fact, I was shocked to see that it already dropped. I didn't even know that it had come out yet.
Yeah, it's been it came out last week, right?
Well, the
I think it was
finale
last
comes
week.
out May the 4th, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
That's
okay,
fitting.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple super chats here, and then we're going to talk about this X-Men news or mutants news, I guess. Nurudi with the $5 super chat says, "I'm so glad that One Piece season 3 got confirmed for next year today. Are they going to be able to get it done by next year? Is the question. That's my only concern because that's an expensive show.
I think
to
they're
make.
already filming it.
Are they?
Don't
Okay.
I don't like One Piece or shonen battle anime in general, but I at least respect One Piece for being slightly different, and being that they have the producer of the manga there and it's good. I respect it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ichiro Oda. Yeah, he's heavily involved with the adaptation, and honestly, the reason I think One Piece works as well as it does is because when you think about the wider real world ramifications of these characters, not all of them are traditionally Japanese in in look. I mean, Luffy is played by a in Akigedo. I forget what he is ethnically speaking, but he's Spanish, something like that.
Yeah.
I think.
I
And
think.
you know,
I think Oda was saying that each character was inspired by a different region. I think
Culture,
Luffy was Brazilian,
something like that. Yeah.
Aesop was African, and some of the other. I think Nami was like Swedish or some junk. I can't remember.
And Zoro is obviously Asian in some
Yes.
fashion or another. So,
Yeah.
And Sanji's French. That much is,
Yeah.
abundant.
Yeah, but I don't even watch the show, and I know that.
By the way, I heard, I don't know if this is true or not, if it was like something came out on April 1st, but somebody said that they are rebooting the animated series.
Yes.
Like remaking the animated series.
So
what
what
do
they're
we know
doing-
about that so far? Fill me in.
It's
So
like
what they're
400,000 episodes.
So what they're doing is this is Oda. This is from Oda himself. In that the anime is getting a reboot without the filler. So all the filler arcs that were only made for the show that was not in the shonen manga that Ichiro Oda wrote, this anime that is coming is going to just be straight up manga adaptation, no filler, no bullshit. It's just the manga. It's basically they're kind of taking a page from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure in that what David Production has done has been straight up manga adaptation, no filler, no bullshit. So they're kind of taking a note from that. Even David Productions does kind of, they do their own thing, and they have kind of they left the one thing they really left out was just this panel, but it's not that big of a deal. But the point is they are remaking the anime without the filler. So I don't even remember what all the filler arcs are, but it's just going to be more streamlined. There is, yeah. There's a few.
Yeah.
What I'm wondering is like, what's going to fill the place of that?
What do you mean?
Like, if you said they're remaking it without all the filler, so
it's basically like starting over from scratch and then skipping over all the bullshit.
There's thousands of episodes of filler of in One Piece.
So, and same with Bleach. Same with.
Some of the Bleach filler is it's rough.
This one just came to mind. Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. There's a fuck ton of filler in that.
Yeah.
It's like hit miss.
Yeah. There was an entire season of Bleach that was based on some bullshit that never even came from the fucking manga. Anyway, I'm not going to get on that pedestal. Cody with the $2 super chat. I think when Feige leaves, Marvel will do that too. Oh, you mean like bring in like a creative and a financer?
I mean, that's not going to be for a while.
I don't think Kevin Feige's ever going to leave Marvel until he is forced to.
I guess he's said he's got a plan for these guys that goes at least 10 years. So.
Which I'm pretty sure is going to include a lot of mutant stuff. So speaking of that, that's a good segue.
I had to switch hats.
Yeah, here we go. All right, let's read this here. This comes from Collider, who has blocked Phil. So are you still blocked?
I'm not on
Collider?
Twitter anymore, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. New X-Men director officially confirms Marvel's plan for multiple X-Men movies. This is an exclusive, all right? Marvel still hasn't said much publicly about its long-awaited X-Men reboot, which means that every real update lands with a bit of extra weight right now. Fans already know the studio is officially moving forward with a new take on the mutants, but the bigger question has always been what shape that future will actually take. Is this just a one-film reset before folding the characters into the wider MCU, or is Marvel quietly building something much bigger? I would say much bigger is probably what they're working on with the mutants, only because there's so much material to work with that they have not tapped yet. Based on new comments from director Jake Schreier, sounds like the answer is pretty clear. It says here, I think that obviously, first things first, we have to make one great movie. Okay, fair enough. Yep. I'm never going to disagree with that. But we always have an eye on what we're talking about it too. What are the different places this can go? So sounds to me like they've actually had discussions about, is every movie going to be just the X-Men? Or are we going to do team-ups? Are we going to do stories about individual characters? Are we going to go to space? Are we going to go into another dimension? Because mutant stories are crazy as fuck. So
yeah, man, the X-Men world is so big you can make a whole franchise out of it. Oh, wait.
Yeah. What are the places that have been in the comics? What hasn't been explored as much, like the Savage Land? And how can that be explored?
Everything?
Yeah.
Like the Starjammers?
I feel like the movies we've had previously have just been rehashing ideas, and we've gotten like one movie over like a massive story that could have been a 3-movie story in one film. It's really crazy.
Twice.
Yeah, what are some of the different avenues that we could take that feel kind of less trodden path that we could go down? There's plenty, but those ideas are always out there as we have the discussions. Anyway, where is this at here? That's about a direct confirmation as Marvel fans have hoped for at this stage. Schreier isn't saying the whole mutant roadmap is locked in, but he's making it clear this isn't being approached like a one-and-done superhero movie. And what's more, there's already active discussion about where the story could go next, which comic arc feels fresh, and what parts of the X-Men mythology haven't been explored on screen in a meaningful way. I would say a vast majority of them, because the X-Men have some of the biggest stories in comics over their entire lifespan that you can do so many things with these characters. I'm going to put this out there. I think it would be leaving massive amounts of money on the table to not try and capitalize on as much X-Men stuff as possible without burning people out. And you don't have to, because there's so many different X-Men characters and stories that exist. You could literally tell a story about a school of kids learning with their powers. You could tell a story about a team in space flying around in a spaceship, just like Guardians of the Galaxy. You could talk about several different X-Men teams. You could do the X-Factor thing, X-Men thing. Joe even says he wants, what did you want? What was the one that you said you'd like to see, Joe?
Oh, the musical Wolverine?
Yes. No. The other X team that you had mentioned you wanted.
Oh, Ecstatics.
Yeah, Ecstatics. Yeah. So there's just there's so many out there. I would love to see, an Alpha Flight story somewhere. I love those characters. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Alpha Flight.
Excalibur would be cool. Like there's so many of them.
X-Force. They were mentioned in Deadpool 2.
Give me some more stuff with the Hellfire Club.
Yeah.
an actual real Hellfire Club. Well, not actual real Hellfire Club instead of that bullshit they had in.
Oh
that
God, yeah,
Class?
yeah, with Kevin Bacon. Oh my God,
Ugh.
I love Kevin Bacon, but good God, that was not Sebastian Shaw.
Just your casual viewer, they did for like almost 15 years. They had their own universe. They just didn't really make it work in the best way possible. They
To
tried,
be honest,
but yeah, go ahead.
I don't think this really constitutes as news or an exclusive.
Kinda
Yeah,
do
isn't it weird they put that in there? Like,
I just, and hear me out when I say this, right? Because
Yeah.
like this is like protocol for Marvel Studios across the board. So why wouldn't X-Men be any different? And X-Men specifically, because X-Men are in that almost same caliber as like Batman, Spider-Man. They are hands down some of, if not the most popular Marvel characters that Marvel has.
Phil, pause for 1 second though. Would you say that they are the best, the most well-known team of characters in the world? The X-Men
In
versus,
Marvel
like-
specifically, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And honestly, I think, truthfully, devil's advocate here. In the event that Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars don't do what Infinity War and Endgame did, I can absolutely see, you know, Secret War still happens, reset happens. Then they just go whole hog on X-Men and shelve, place, you know, put the Avengers, not necessarily on ice, but like, oh yeah, they're maybe out there, maybe, I don't know. But I could absolutely see them resetting and just having the X-Men be the new front and center of the MCU for Phase 7.
Actually, Phil, you know what? To even push that further, give me a second, Jake. I just got one thing to say. To push that even further, if they want to do a team-up movie every year, they could do like Avengers 1 year, X-Men 1 year, and just do that. So that way they always have some sort of a team-up movie going to keep people engaged. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Jake.
Well, that was one of my biggest question marks with, you know, like if we're really going into a whole mutant-heavy era post-Secret Wars, like what's going to happen with all those other characters that are carried over, like that have really gotten underserved in the multiverse saga that we just haven't really gotten.
I think they're going to get washed away in Secret Wars.
I mean,
I
I
think
would
a
hope.
fair few will carry over.
I think a fair few definitely should.
I mean, Shang-Chi, I mean, he's
Yeah.
coming back for Doomsday, right? And I think a lot of people really love Simu Liu in the role. So he's probably getting carried over. Spider-Man's a no-brainer.
Spider-Man,
Yeah.
yeah. We've seen conflicting reports on whether
Obviously, Daredevil's carrying over for sure.
Fantastic Four.
Yep.
that we've seen conflicting reports on whether or not Sam is still going to be Captain America after this.
I think we might actually see multiple Captain Americas. Honestly,
Yeah,
we might
which
have
that's-
multiple ones.
Yeah, that's been a thing in comics too. You know, like they've had Steve and Sam carry the mantle together.
If Darren were here, I'm pretty sure he would say he hates that idea because he really wants Sam to be able to have like that upfront moment that they really haven't given him. So,
No.
yeah.
And I said
All
no
right.
as in they haven't given that. No as in I disagree.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it for
Not
sure.
no as in I disagree with that.
All right.
That's a good question down there that they just brought up. If you want to,
Well, I would, which one?
the one from Kevin, the last one.
Oh, right here. I mean, we kind of talked about this already, right? Wasn't that the we did a poll? We did a top 3 on what we'd like to see from the X-Men stuff.
I would like to see Cyclops, an actual Phoenix saga, not that Dark Phoenix bullshit that they immediately go into.
Well, if they're talking specifically about solo movies, Cyclops could be
Yes.
definitely a solo movie for
Yeah.
sure. I would
it's
say
going to be Wolverine. It's going to be
yeah.
Magneto.
The problem with the X-Men solo movies, I'm just going to throw this out there, is even when X-Men characters are doing their own thing, they're always sort of connected to someone else somewhere. It's always like if it's a Cyclops movie, how do you tell that movie without Jean Grey being in there, or his brother being in there, or his dad being in there? Like there's always something like that in it, and that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. But there's very few that I think could be like absolute solo movies. Obviously, Wolverine works. Obviously, Deadpool works, stuff like that. But even those movies have characters in them. Like they had
I
characters.
mean, they're all going to have
like,
characters there.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, solo movie is. I think there's some that we could definitely,
Maybe
see in the
just
future.
reword
But I
it.
think
You know
they're
what I
always
would
going to
love?
have multiple
Maybe
characters
just,
in there.
maybe just reword it to say lead movies and not solo.
I would
movies.
love
Yeah.
a movie. I would love a movie where it's like Magneto, the Hellfire Club, fighting for dominance over Genosha.
Yeah, because we really haven't gotten Genosha at all.
Make it,
Right.
Yeah, make it some like Game of Thrones type shit.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. Oh, totally.
Yeah,
See, this is why I didn't want Disney to get the X-Men characters back,
Tough shit.
because you won't get that now.
What do you mean? You won't get what?
you won't get as many solo films or X-Men spin-offs. Or
I actually think we'll get more.
I don't think you will. I don't think you will because they've only got so many release dates. They've only got so many release dates, and they have other characters they have to serve. They have a whole MCU. When it was all Fox had,
fair. Think about it this way: how many of these movies outside of Deadpool and Wolverine have done that well?
Yeah, that's the issue I was going to say, Joe, is that a lot of the movies that they had separately from their main characters or whatever didn't do what the investors wanted them to do, and they might want to try something different. So they might heavily invest in the X-Men because of that.
And a lot of these characters might not even get movies. They might go the Werewolf by Night of the Punisher route and give them specials.
True. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but Joe, you might be right. Like they could shelve it, but I don't think they got the X-Men IP back just to shelve it. I think they really.
Oh, I mean, they're going to make an X-Men movie. You're going to see X-Men. You'll probably see Wolverine get a spin-off movie, and they'll keep making Deadpool.
Obviously going to continue. Yeah.
But I don't think I think if it's all Fox, if you have a studio and all they have is the X-Men, they're going to get more experimental. You're going to get stuff like the New Mutants, and which wasn't very good, but you know they're going to try things.
Well, I actually think it's going to hurt feelings, Joe, because I think a lot of people's favorite Avengers type characters are going to be shelved, and the X-Men are going to be the ones that they're going to focus on. That's what I think. That's what I think is going to happen.
We'll see. I don't know.
I don't agree that they should do that, but I think that's the plan. I think the plan is Fantastic Four, X-Men, and other various characters that they think Spider-Man, and like Doctor Strange and these characters, they can sort of do their own thing. Yeah, those separate. I think the core Avenger type thing they were doing before, I think that stuff is getting shelved for sure. We might get like like I said, maybe an Avengers movie every other year or rotating with the X-Men. I to be quite honest, I think the X-Men, if Marvel does it right, we're getting back to billion-dollar movies at that point for them. I think if they do it right, because I just think the X-Men are that popular, and if they make them comic book accurate, and I don't mean like a comic book purist or anything like that, I'm saying like as long as they resonate and have the same vibe as the comic books, people will definitely go out for them. X-Men 97 is a good example. The stories don't always run the same way they did in the comics, and they don't always have the same exact beats that the comics have, but it has the same vibe as the comic, and that's what people want.
And going into season 1 of that show, like, you know, the skeletal structure of it was still a story that, you know, a lot of people that have been reading X-Men comics for the last few decades, they knew the bones of, you know, that Nathan Summers, Mr. Sinister story, but they still found a way to add new innovative ideas to it, keep it fresh, keep it interesting, and all while making it feel like those same characters.
I will be sad if you're right though, Joe. If they shelve X-Men stuff because they don't have enough room, I will be very sad about that for sure.
If they do that, I'm boycotting all of Marvel. I'm not even joking. It sounds like I'm joking. I am not.
No. I mean, look. It could go either way. I'm on the side of like I think they're going to try and use the X-Men as much as they can, but I could be wrong about that. So, we got some super chats here. Yeah, go ahead, Phil.
Just real quick. I think given the you know floundering of Quantumania and also Captain America: Brave New World, even though I like that movie, and even the lackluster success monetarily of Thunderbolts, I think they need a property that people are aware of that they want to show up for, and
there's a built-in fan base already.
Yes, X-Men is that.
Yeah, and that existing X-Men being incorporated into these Avengers movies is a big part of what's generating the buzz for them.
Yeah.
Correct.
All right, so we're going to do these super chats, and then we're going to watch the mid-season trailer for Daredevil. We're going to read the article about some behind-the-scene photos of Daredevil, and then we are going to jump into a Daredevil discussion, and that's going to happen in the next 20 minutes. But let's get through the super chats here. You guys are being so generous. Thank you so much. Frodo Cop P says with the... What is that? Frodo is RoboCop. I love the fucking that's great. 499 super chat
picture.
Yeah. By the way, completely unrelated. Apparently, Amazon is doing a RoboCop TV show now. Did you see
saw that?
Really?
Saw that.
It could be good. Could be trash.
All right.
Can't be worse.
Wait. Hold on. Before I take this off the screen, thank you so much for this and saying we're doing great work because we're just here having a good time. You guys are the MVPs in the chat. Thank you.
Thanks. I hate your profile picture. Sorry.
The RoboCop thing. What did we think of that reboot that came out like 5 or 6 years ago?
I thought it was fine. I liked it.
It's actually over a decade old. It was 2014 when that movie came out.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. Very good.
COVID fucked my head up with like
wow.
so
yeah, it really is.
Damn.
But I love the original one. I enjoyed the second one. I didn't really like the third one at all.
We don't.
The second one, the second one is insane. Like what happens in that movie is fucking crazy.
That third one was rough.
The reboot that came out, was it Joel Kinnaman that was in that? Did he play
Joel Kinnaman was RoboCop.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton and Sam Jackson.
Michael Keaton, Sam Jackson, right? Michael Keaton was the overlord of the company or whatever, and Sam L was the news anchor, I think.
Apparently, you had complaining about how the RoboCop suit was like apparently uncomfortable to move in, and
Big Fieldy says the action scenes in the reboot were really good. Yeah, I think they were. That's pretty good.
The problem I think is the look of RoboCop, the black RoboCop. It didn't look as good. I mean, but the movie itself was a solid film. I hate RoboCop 2. RoboCop 3 is actually better than RoboCop 2, but that's not saying much. That's like saying this solid turd is better than diarrhea. But still. And then the TV projects, the TV series, and then the Prime
There was a Canadian one, right? Was there a Canadian one?
Yeah. There were two. There was the series, the like RoboCop the series, and then there was a mini series called Prime Directives. They weren't very good either. So the remake's actually one of the better RoboCop projects.
What about the cartoon that came on Saturday?
I was about to say the cartoon, which I watched.
I found it funny how when it came to that movie with Kinnaman, he was complaining about how the suit made him feel, and like with Keaton on the set of that movie, I think his old man phase, like kind of from his Batman days, kind of clicked in his mind, because he's like, oh, see, back in my day, whenever we played superheroes, we were sweating to death like rats. We couldn't breathe. We couldn't move. Now you have Mr. Entitled over here with your suit that's got an AC unit in it, and you're complaining. And I'm just like, all right, guys, like, I don't think it's that serious.
By the way, I want to give a shout out. We actually hit the goal in the Debunks chat as well tonight, so thank you guys so much. Let me read off what we are voting on in the Reloaded chat. These are our 4 options.
I'm guessing nothing tonight.
Not tonight. Until Daredevil's over. We're just doing Daredevil on Tuesdays. Yeah. Top 3 comic book castings with wasted potential. That is one of Jake's options there. We have best Super Mario character, which I believe Phil suggested that one. Top 3 best science fiction movies of all time, which is one of Omega's. I'm not going to read what the other one was that he suggested.
That was a joke.
And then the one that I put in was top 3 worst movies that got sequels. So those are our options. You guys can vote on that.
Just referring to the original movie?
Yes, the movie itself was a bad movie, and then it still got a sequel.
Ooh.
So, we'll talk about that. It doesn't mean the sequel wasn't good. The sequel could have been really good. It's just that the first movie wasn't good, in your opinion. We have... Dobrina Lekishev 4943 with a £2 super chat. Thank you so much for that, for the support of the channel. Columbia Rican here with the $5 super chat. I don't know if any of you guys watched the anime Frieren. Highly recommend due to its deep lore and story. Will that get a future live action? Thoughts? Is anybody familiar with this anime?
Well, I'm sort of familiar. I haven't actually seen it. I've seen a bunch of clips here and there. I'm familiar with it. I might actually start watching it, mainly because it's not a shonen.
Is it on Crunchyroll or is it on
Probably.
Netflix? Okay.
I think it is. I think it is on Netflix. I don't know. I could be wrong on that.
I only know it by name.
I think it is.
But yeah, it's not one of those shonen battle animes, so I actually might give it a try.
Wait, what kind is it? Is it a like a school one, like a high school?
No,
one,
it's actually. It seems like it's more like Record of Lodoss War type.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, it's not starring a. Yeah, it's not starring a overpowered high schooler. I fucking hate those.
I was about to say Record of Lodoss. I'm like, that's something I haven't heard in a minute.
You mean like Mob Psycho 100?
Yeah.
Oh God.
What is that? Wasn't there was it a game or a video? I don't know why it's staying in my mind, but was it Yandere, whatever the
Yandere?
Yeah, the one where it's like violent and really like bloody or whatever. I remember somebody showing that to me.
Yandere Simulator.
Yeah,
that was a game. The developer turned out to be some weird creepo or something.
Oh, never mind. Forget I even mentioned it. Forget Me Not 182 with the $5 super chat says, "What did y'all think of the Cloak and Dagger show? Underrated in my opinion. And do you think the MCU will make the mutants also will magic get her own movie?" I'm going to tackle that last part first because Magic better get a fucking movie. She's one of my favorite characters, and I would totally love for Magic to get a movie. I talked about this when we did our like MCU dream projects. That's one of them for sure. And as far as Cloak and Dagger, I felt like the show dragged on a lot for me. I don't think it was bad, but it was definitely like a young adult love story type show, and there was very little action in it. And for me, it's a no dog. I have a very bad attention span with that kind of stuff. Doesn't mean it's bad, just wasn't for me. And as far as making them mutants, I don't know what they're going to do if they even bring them back in the MCU. I have no idea.
I mean, I like the Cloak and Dagger castings a lot more than I like the show itself. Because I think the castings for Tyrone and Tandy were really good, but the show itself,
Yeah. I don't know. Is anybody a huge fan of Cloak and Dagger? Anybody on the panel?
The only relevancy I remember from Cloak and Dagger is when they showed up in Absolute Carnage.
Yep.
I didn't watch it, but I absolutely love the 1984 movie Cloak and Dagger with Dabney Coleman.
Oh God, it's not even. You know what, Joe?
Then they tie because they also tied in comics at one point. Carnage's love interest, Shriek, was actually a mutant because she got trapped in Cloak's dark dimension. And that's how her power is activated.
Right.
Okay, I saw this too. This is kind of crazy. $5 super chat from Naruto. I saw Esquire fed an AI a bunch of interviews that I think it was the Luffy's actor. No, it wasn't him. I forget. I think it was the who's the other character that was, I don't know. Well, anyway, did the interview AI because the actor was busy. Yeah, I saw that. So they basically interviewed an AI by feeding the AI information about the previous interviews the actor had done to see what the most probable answers would be instead of actually talking to the actor. Oh, it was Zoro's actor. He corrected it here. $2 super chat. Correction, it was Zoro's actor. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Esquire. So we're talking about a prestigious magazine that's been around for years.
Like,
what are we doing?
Wait for this freaking bubble to burst. I can't.
Yeah, me
stand
too.
AI. It's so bad.
Big same.
Oh, it's pretty crazy to me.
This is not the business.
No, fuck that. But look, also, I saw a story not related to this, but there's an artist who plays acoustic music and does covers on YouTube. And there's an AI company that fed her videos into an AI simulation, created music using her voice and her style, made an AI character that looks like this hot chick playing the guitar, made videos like that, and then went through and copyright claimed all of her real music because they're saying that it was... So her channel got demonetized. Yeah.
So you're saying AI combined with music is problematic?
Yes.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yep, for sure. Cody here with the $5 super chat says, I forgot a new Blade Runner show is coming. Yeah. It's got Michelle Yeoh in it, doesn't it? I believe it's Michelle Yeoh in it.
Hey, I always like seeing Michelle Yeoh back in anything.
But what is it called? It's Blade Runner 20. Is it 2099? I can't remember what it's called. It's like
Blade Runner 2099 is the new show coming on Amazon.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now I need to see them cross over with Miguel O'Hara.
Yeah. It comes this year. It says Cloak and Dagger. I'm pretty sure romance is it's a big part of their story. The romance element between the two characters is a big core element to what they deal with because they find out they're connected in a unique way in the comics, and you always see them together. They have done stuff separately, but they always work much better together as a team. So yeah, that's true. It's not for me, right? It's not for me. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying it's not something that I really care for.
Very, very niche science fiction story.
You know where Cloak and Dagger, I think, would have played I'm not going to say pivotal role, but where I think they would have fit.
Where's that?
Having them on Cap's side in Civil War, because that's where they were in the book.
Oh, yeah, that would have been cool. Actually, Cloak's powers are really broken if you really want to break it down.
The whole Dark Dimension thing?
Yeah, really broken. All right, so we're going to talk about some news regarding Daredevil, and we're going to watch a mid-season trailer. At this point, this article has spoilers in it, even though it's not direct spoilers for the episode. It has spoilers for the season, and the mid-season trailer obviously has spoilers for the season. So at this point, if anybody wants to dip out, because they haven't watched it yet? Because I know, Joe, you just started.
Yeah, I had to see.
I've seen one episode, so I'm out.
Okay. All right. So thanks for coming, Joe and Omega both. Do you want to shout out your channels quickly before you head out?
Haven't uploaded anything lately, but if you want to see my crap, go here, or is it here? I don't know. I forget which one. Also, I'm on Threads and on Blue Sky if y'all want to see more of my crap. So there you go.
Okay. And Joe, what about you?
Crazy Joe Adventures. I've been putting out a new video every Wednesday, but this past week you got 2 new videos from me because they were both Easter related, so I kind of had to get them in before Easter. So last week there were 2.
All right, before you guys go, Lone Wolf did have a super chat that got mixed up somehow in the shuffle. And I think Omega would definitely want to answer this one because X-Men. $5 super chat. I have a question. Would you guys ever like to see Revolutionary Era X-Men down the road? Cyclops almost went villain in that run, right? Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
So
I would love to see that. Would we get it?
Cyclops is highly problematic, but yeah, go ahead, Omega.
Yes, I would love to see that. Actually, because if you saw the name earlier, I was reading House. I said this on Lance's stream. I was reading House of M earlier, like this morning. My God, I need to get back into reading more X-Men now that it's getting good again. But it was
ever since the Krakoa era, it's kind of been good. Yeah.
No, it's funny that you had the whole catalyst of what started.
Not so bad.
You know,
No, Misty.
The fuck is that?
damn.
What was that? What was that? I don't. Anyway, finish what you're saying.
Anyway, all right. So the whole catalyst for what started, the whole thing with Revolutionary X-Men is, something big happens to Xavier. But I find it funny that multiple X-Men projects in the 2010s were going off of that catalyst and then making a story off of it. Because, granted, people hated this game, but that X-Men Destiny game started with that exact same premise where Xavier dies and your player selected character is the one that's like either helping is one that eventually saves the X-Men and turns into one, or that ends up going against them and leading a new mutant supremacy side with Magneto at the lead. And I don't know, I always like whenever comic book games do that because they can play with either side of the source material, but I just find it funny how they were wanting to use that exact thing that happens to Xavier as a catalyst for a lot of shit.
Right. All right. With that being said, thank you, Joe and Omega, for being here, and we'll see maybe you guys on Thursday. I don't know, but we'll.
No, I gotta work Thursday. So
okay. All right. See you later, Joe. Have a good night. See you later, Omega.
Good night.
All right. Well, we had another super chat come in. Forget Me Not with the $2 super chat says, "Would you put money on a Penny Parker?" No, I wouldn't put money on it. Could they do it? Yeah, I wouldn't put money down on that. Absolutely not.
I mean, even before What We Know got announced, like I said, that out of all those different Spider characters in the first Spider-Verse movie, if any one of them was going to get their own project, I said it was Noir. Granted, this is not that same character.
Oh, we got that this year too. I forgot about that.
It's next month.
Yeah, it's in a couple weeks. People need to really, I think, realize that character you saw in Spider-Verse and this character in this project are not the same character.
Yeah, it's different versions of the same character. So. Yep. So,
I don't know. I'm stoked to sell for that.
I would love for Penny to get an animated series, Serenity, but or anime series. I just don't know if it's something they're thinking about. Okay, so let's bring up this first bit of news here before we watch this trailer and talk about the episode. By the way, I will put up spoiler tags for the episode specifically when we get to that part. So this article is not spoilery for the episode, but the trailer will be, so it will go up then. Mike Coulter and Finn Jones spotted on Daredevil Born Again set with Defenders co-star Kristen Ritter. Now, we knew Jessica Jones was coming back. Says here, Mike Coulter and Finn Jones have been spotted on the set, blah, blah, blah. There was a picture right here. Here's a picture of them together. Yeah. Okay. And it looks like, obviously, they've got them in hoodies and robes trying to cover up their identity, and they didn't do a good job of it here in this shot. Thoughts on this? We're getting Iron Fist, or at least maybe Iron. He's looking for the powers again, because that would have been the journey he went on at the end of season 2. So
I can't say a word. I cannot speak to this.
Jake, thoughts on it?
It doesn't shock me in the slightest.
Yeah.
I mean, I made this prediction as early as like January when Coulter popped up on Rosenbaum's podcast and was saying that, hey, I'd love to get the call from them. He talked about all sorts of workouts that he was doing. I'm sitting there thinking, they already called you. You don't start working out like that just for nothing.
Well, also he lost a show as well. That other show he was on did not get renewed. Was
Here's
it
what
Evil?
I will say.
Was that the name of it? Yeah.
Here's what I will say.
Yeah.
The way and what happens at the end of season 2 absolutely warrants them coming back to New York.
Oh, Phil, I swear to God.
That is all I'm going to say.
I'm so look, here's my thing. Luke Cage, 100% on board. Loved Mike in the role. Loved the show. I thought it was good. They made some mistakes with getting rid of certain characters a little too early. I'm looking at you,
Cottonmouth.
But other than that, I had a good time with the show. Season 2 was weird, but it led up to a really good, like a setup for another season with him as the owner of the club. Like I liked all of that. All of that to me was really good. So love Mike Coulter, love Luke Cage, love the dynamic between Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. And based on the trailer we're going to look at in a minute, there's a story between those two characters that is out in the ether. And we know there's a Daughters of the Dragon storyline, but it looks like they're going to save that for something else. And they're bringing Finn back in as Iron Fist here, as Danny Rand, to sort of remind us that these characters exist so that we know they're there and they could have plans for them. Because if the fan reception is good, I don't see why they wouldn't, because this would give them, if they did shows on these characters, they could even flip-flop them every other year. They could do like a Luke Cage and Jessica Jones series together if they wanted. There's so many opportunities of things they could do. So I'm all for this. Chris goes, Phil, is it a gift or a curse to know what's going to happen and be unable to say anything?
I feel like the answer to that is yes.
Yeah, it's a yes.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to watch the mid-season teaser. I'm going to put up the spoiler banner now because I feel like where's banners at right here? Daredevil Born Again. Spoilers. All right, so we're going into spoiler territory. Even though it's a teaser and it is available publicly, I don't want people who have avoided the trailer to see it. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pull this up over here. See if I can find it on YouTube.
When I did see that this trailer dropped and a certain line was said in regards to a certain character, I was actually disappointed. I was like, wow, they couldn't really keep that under wraps. Of all the things they could do with Jessica Jones in terms of promotion,
that's one of the things. Yeah,
they settled on that. I was like, that's not cool.
Right.
I haven't actually seen this trailer yet.
Okay, so the trailer it's spoiler. Are you good with that? Are you good with the?
I mean, they put it out there.
It's got it. Most of it you probably already know, but there's one part with Jessica Jones that is pretty spoilery. So anyway,
go ahead.
All right. This trailer might be missing when you guys watch it on playback. If it is, go and watch it on the official Marvel channel or the official Disney Plus channel. We're going to watch it straight through, and then we'll talk about it afterwards, and then we're going to talk about the episode. So here we go. This episode.
Oh, that's badass.
Catch up.
The shot right here.
Woo!
Oh my god.
Damn.
They showed up at my house with my daughter there.
Oh,
You heard?
I'm pissed.
Oh my God! Did you see that?
Holy shit. It's Matt Murdock.
It's gonna be a bloodbath.
Then this should be tons of fun.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Daredevil, Born Again.
Oh my fucking God. Okay, I just have to say there were two things in that trailer that jumped out to me. One of them was very quick. The other one was very shocking. The shocking thing is Jessica Jones and Luke have a daughter.
Which is true to source material.
It is.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to finish it, Dalton. I just wanted to pause.
I'm guessing that was the spoilery bit.
That was the big one. But I also like the shot where it looked like, and I might be wrong here, but it looks like Kingpin just smashes a hand guy or whatever, whoever he's fighting, against a wall. Well, I think he was in red though, right? He was wearing red.
Yes.
I think in the shot. Yeah. So he smashes him into the wall and like breaks him in half. I'm like, oh my fucking God.
So with what we've seen so far in like not only these episodes, but also with the pictures that you just showed earlier, at the current moment, there's only one thing I feel like I'm missing.
What's that?
And I'm not saying that this individual not being there is like making it worse for me, because I'm still loving the hell out of it. But
yeah. All right. Well, let's watch the last bit here. There's a little bit more here.
I'm just hoping. I'm hoping at some point we get Elodie Young back.
Oh yeah, a lot of people saying that.
Season 2, now streaming. And don't miss the Punisher special presentation coming May 12th.
That's why I waited, because I want to talk about that separately. So we got a little shot there, literally, of the Punisher special being advertised here. Marvel, as of like right now, your advertising game is eating the fuck out of the internet. Like everything you're doing to me is working so well at the moment, with the connection between Daredevil, Punisher, leading into Spider-Man. All of it makes sense in my brain, and I love the way they're doing it. The Punisher special is going to be fucking crazy. After we're done with Daredevil, we're immediately going to jump into probably another fucking crazy, violent, gritty fucking show about a character that we've been waiting for a while. And then we get to see that character again in just a couple weeks in Spider-Man.
Yep.
Holy fuck. Holy fucking shit. Oh my God. All right. Drop that down. We got some super chats here. Staggervore, 190 super chat. Good to see you, Staggervore. And tomorrow the boys are back in town. Yeah. I'm making my Daredevil actual review with the podcast will go up tomorrow. My boys review will go up Thursday. I'm going to be busy again. If you're watching on the Reloaded channel, I'm going to be so busy with fucking reviews. It's crazy. But I'm glad it's back.
Would you be mad if I told you I saw the first 2 episodes of The Boys already?
Oh my God, Phil. You're fucking killing me, bro. Like, and you can't talk about it. So I'm sitting here going, fuck, he's seen it. He knows. He probably knows how good it is, which is why he's like, so.
Yeah, the embargo doesn't live for like, what, 11 hours?
Fuck. I know, look, Columbia Rica's laughing and Phil knows. Yes, I know, exactly. Exactly. No, it's great. It's great. All right, so we had a super chat from earlier, and I don't know if they're still here or not, because it was like very early. It was like right when the stream started. Actually, you know what? We'll wait, because at this point, why not? We'll wait till we get to that point. All right, so we had the episode. Gloves Off was the name of the episode. And it was the episode where we actually get the exhibition match with Kingpin and the Matterhorn. Tony something, was it Tony something Matterhorn? I don't know who this character is from the comics. I'm not familiar if he's a actual real character, if it's somebody from the show. I'm not totally sure. So we get that in the episode. We're dealing with Bullseye, and I love at the beginning when the logo flips from red to like the purple blue color or whatever, because that's the color we get.
He was mainly a character talked about in like Silver Surfer comics. That's how obscure he is.
Oh, okay, so basically just here's a cool Easter egg type thing.
Yeah, it was playing fast and loose with the material.
Yeah, Gary, I did. Yes, you're still here. Good. We will get to that very soon. I'm just recapping the episode, but that's the big one. We're gonna get there. Thank you for the super chat. Didn't forget about you. So we have the Bullseye stuff. Let's start out with the opening of the episode. where we see that he is, he's got this old lady. I think it was Mrs. Smithers or was it Mrs. Smithers or something that lived next to him in this apartment. She's calling him by a fake name. Obviously, he's not going by his real name. He feeds the cat. It seems like this very normal existence. He's even going down to the diner. And I'm like, there's no way this is normal. This is Bullseye. There's no way this is normal. Something is going on. You even saw like he had the belt on under his fucking jacket. And I'm like, yeah, something's going to happen. So he gets to the diner. He orders a banana milkshake. He drinks it all in one go, which is even more psychotic than anything he's ever done. Who the fuck drinks a milkshake all in one fucking slurp?
That's going to give you a hell of a brain freeze.
Look, see, feels like I do it. Of course, right?
I'm a fucking lunatic. I can't.
Yeah.
I wish I could. I used to.
Yeah,
but not
it was great though. The whole time so let's start out with the phone part. The whole time he's on the phone, he's like, let me get my phone. He's like, oh no, Punisher's here. Oh, he's got a gun. I'm like, this sounds so fucking awful. But the lady on the line's like, sir, please. And then he just hangs up on her.
So did you notice where that diner is?
Bel Air Diner?
It's the same diner that Kingpin and
Daredevil were
Matt
in
Yes,
one.
yeah.
Yep.
One of my
Same
favorite
diner.
scenes from season 1 was the conversation they had in that diner.
Agreed.
Yeah, but these in that diner. And before we get too far into it, what did you guys think of this lead up? Like, did you know shit was about to pop off? Were you expecting something big? Like, what were you thinking as you were watching all this go down? And did you think we were actually going to see the Punisher? Because I know some people thought that the Punisher was actually going to show up, and I was like, there's no way he's going to show up. But some people thought he was. What did we think of this scene leading up to this?
This is the MVP episode for a reason. So, like, when I watched it and I saw the logo turn blue, you can see my reaction. It's up on Jedi Mike 7's page. My reaction to this was my jaw dropped, and I was like, "It's a Bullseye episode," and they did not disappoint. This episode was very centered around Bullseye, and I ate it up like a fat kid on chocolate cake in Matilda. That's right. So yeah, I was very happy with this lead up. But honestly, it's a bit of like routine for this guy because he, being the way he is mentally, he kind of has to routine himself in a way to keep him level. Yeah. So made sense.
Okay, so then after this all happens and the anti-vigilante task force shows up, we get one of the most insane fight scenes we've had on the show. It was crazy watching him do what he does, which is perfect shots, ricocheting off of stuff, fucking using straws, using fucking lobster. Like,
whenever they have those fight scenes where they just use random shit that's in the environment, I always love when they get creative.
On the podcast, he said that they shot that scene in one day. That whole fucking scene in one day. And the showrunner, Dario, said that is a shot that if a movie did it, it would take them weeks to do it because they would do everything in a different way. He said, but on our set, everybody was ready to go and we got it shot in one day. I was like, holy fuck. That speaks to the quality of their stunt choreographers, their fight choreographers, everybody involved with that. It was so good. Also, when he walks out, we saw it in the trailer, he's walking out from behind the diner booth there, and he bounces the forks and they flip up and then he catches them. I was like, it's just so fucking cool. What did you guys think of this fight scene? It's probably one of my favorites of the season, maybe of all of Daredevil series. I thought it was really cool.
I mean, is it a fight scene or is it just a straight up fucking massacre?
I mean, for it to be a fight scene, those are the guys that have to be fighting back.
That's true. They're stormtroopers, essentially, is what they are.
They got murked, and it was awesome.
I love that he looked over. He was like, dogs are unhygienic to bring into a restaurant. And it's like the dog is just kind of yapping. It's so funny.
I'm just looking at this. I'm like, John Wick who?
Yeah, it was crazy. Also, I think it's interesting that Bullseye sees himself as a person on a redemption arc to be a hero. That's how he sees what he's doing, right? Yeah. And he believes. And look, I'm going to be honest. Taking out the fucking task force that's harassing people, you will see no complaints from me on that one. It's just that he takes it to another level because, like Punisher, he's like, if violence is the only way I can get shit to happen, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use violence. And it's not just for like doing good. He also has an issue with Vanessa and Fisk. So he's doing it because he really wants to get back at them too.
That shit's hitting a little too close to home.
For sure.
I mean, I think he used the Punisher as an alias to get them there, obviously, but also they're almost two sides in the same coin. The big difference is Frank doesn't necessarily like doing what he does, even though in the back of his mind there's that little twinge of, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Bullseye
loves it.
It's not a little right, exactly. It's not a little twinge. He's full on like, yeah, I'm gonna call these guys over here. And then I'm going to fucking murder them, and I'm going to love it.
He was looking around in the diner trying to memorize where things are so he knows what to use. I was like, that's really good.
Yeah, I mean, because with Punisher, it's like, I mean, hey, like, if anybody's going to do this, might as well be me. It's almost like a burden, if you will, just so nobody else has to go through that. Bullseye has a fucking, kind of like an Oliver Queen mindset where it's like, he kills because he wants to and he likes it.
Yeah. Then we also have what looks to be the safe house getting set up with Karen and Matt and all the people that they've been kind of meeting through the course of the season. They're bringing them all in. We get the guy from the Northern Star. And as soon as I saw him, I'm like, this is bad news. Like, this is really bad news because the fucking Fisk is really after this guy. Mr. Charles is really after this guy. This is not good. But they managed to get him saying everything that happened on video. So we have video documentation from him. We have video documentation from a lot of the people that were involved with some of the things that went on with the task force. And so all of that is locked in. We also get the tease that we're going to get the White Tiger stuff for sure. And Matt's telling her it's a big responsibility.
That was the best parts of season 1, in my opinion, too.
Yeah, for sure. So we know that's happening. She seems very much ready to go, which is kind of crazy, but it is what it is. And so they're trying to protect these people, but they can't protect everybody. And we'll get to that in a moment with the Northern Star guy. Christoph, I think is his name. So we have that guy. Then we have the stuff going on with the governor and Vanessa. And I thought this was really interesting. When Vanessa goes to see the governor to try and smooth things over with what's happening with Fisk, and the governor's like, I don't ever want to work with Fisk, essentially saying that this is somebody that I would never, ever work with. But if you think you can kind of handle things, I don't mind working with Fisk and Mrs. Fisk, is basically what she says. She's like, I will work with you, but I'm not just going to work with him. Based on what happens at the end of this episode, I think this is going to be a problem with the governor and Fisk moving forward. But
you think?
What gives you that?
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, but Vanessa has always been Wilson's
moral compass.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. Like the one thing that can kind of sort of calm him down when he's stressed out in some ways, but also if she's in danger, he's completely seeing white, and that's fucking it. Like that, we saw that when they were doing his backstory on how he like freaks out and gets really violent. So we know that's the situation. Were you gonna say, Jake?
I mean, in previous like adaptations of those characters I've seen, you've seen that he is. Vanessa is that character that he will do absolutely anything for. You can see he does love her, but at the end of the day, he can't escape from that thrill of having all the power.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. The other thing we get is we get a moment with Daniel and BB, which was a little weird. So they're standing in line to go into this boxing exhibition match, and this guy needs to get this footage to BB because BB's the one that's making all the anti-Fisk propaganda content. In order to do that, he has to do it in a way that doesn't seem suspicious. So he's like, I want to take a picture with you and get a selfie because everybody knows you, kind of thing or whatever. And then there's this awkward, scary look that Daniel gives BB. And did you guys notice that in the scene? He's like, he looks at her and it's dead silent for what feels like forever. And it's almost like in his mind, he knows that this is another time where something weird is going on and she's not telling him what it is. I feel like he's putting the pieces together in his head. Is that, I know Phil can't say much, but I just feel like he's figuring things out because he doesn't want to be, and I said this when I was watching the podcast and giving my review on it, he doesn't want to know, because if he knows, then he has to lie to Fisk, and he doesn't want to keep lying to Fisk. So it's better that he doesn't know, which is why he keeps telling her, if you are doing this thing, just stop, because then he doesn't have to actually take the blame of like he knew about it and he was keeping it from Kingpin, because that's the one thing you don't want, is you don't want to tell Kingpin you're keeping something from him, because then you're fucked. So I know that. But at the same time, he cares about her. I believe he cares about her. I could be wrong. I think he does care about her. But the thing is, he's got to make a decision. Is it BB or is it Fisk? He's going to have to make that decision at some point. And Phil is being very quiet. Jake, what do you think?
I mean, with the way that things are for Kingpin right now, I feel like, you know, I could not help but think, especially with what happens with Vanessa, I found myself automatically going back to the what is it, the Ultimate Slayer episode of Spider-Man the Animated Series, where you see Fisk's family in danger. He has, you know, Hammerhead and everybody that works under him trying to keep his wife safe, but she doesn't want to be part of that life anymore. I mean, really, she hasn't wanted it for a long time, and you can tell Fisk's, he's like, oh yeah, I love you, but, you know, like, all this stuff, it's who I am. And at the end of the day, he's just like, listen, this is who I am, and if you can't accept that, then there's nothing else to be said. And I feel like we might be heading there.
Oh, by the way, also, I see it mentioned in the chat from Hunter there. The scene with Mr. Charles, Vanessa, or no, Buck and Kingpin, where they were standing around and he had his little goons there with him during that moment. I knew, and I didn't realize it was going to happen this quickly, that Fisk was going to get tired of somebody telling him what to do, because he doesn't function that way. You don't tell the alpha in the room that they have to be beta over and over and over again, especially when they have a violent streak in them. You know, somebody who is trying to consolidate power, you don't come along and be like, oh, well, actually, or no, you're not, or that doesn't work for me. Those things don't pan out. And when
the last thing that person does.
Well, yeah. And so when Mr. Charles pushes the wrong buttons, Buck steps up, he shoots his two goons right next to him. And you see that Mr. Charles looks shocked, but I don't think it's a shock like, I'm afraid. It's a shock like, oh, I have to tighten the screws even more. That's what the impression I got from him. I don't think he was afraid. Maybe he was a little startled or shocked by it, but I don't think he was afraid.
He felt rattled.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't think it's going to shake him too much. And I know, Phil, you can't say anything. So, but
am I the only one that's like really not connecting with Daniel this season?
Well, Daniel was being used very sparingly at the moment. I don't know how much more they're going to use of him, but he's definitely important to the plot line between BB and Fisk. I think that's the story he's in right now.
You'll see that come to a head.
Okay. Good.
And that's all I will say about that. And Daniel will be, you know, he will be utilized.
Okay.
All right.
There we go. Okay, so let's get into the fight between Daredevil and Bullseye, because there's a fight at the beginning where not at the beginning, in the middle of the episode, where he's basically showing up and saying, you don't have to do this, etc., etc., etc. And Bullseye's like, no, I'm going to do it because you're too afraid to do it, so I'm going to do it. And this is kind of similar to the Punisher stuff, where Daredevil doesn't want to cross certain lines. Ever since season 1, we know that he struggled with how violent he's going to be when it comes to these kind of things. Now, Matt sees killing Fisk in public as a bad thing because it will make him a martyr for so many people in the city who already sort of look up to him. It's going to just make it harder for them to turn away from Fisk and everything Fisk did. Whereas Bullseye doesn't care that he's going to be a martyr because he thinks it's more important to get rid of the head of the snake. So what do we think about this?
Well, just everything surrounding that drama was my favorite part of the episode, because you can see how split down the middle Matt is. It's like, he doesn't really like Fisk. Like, in his own mind, he was like, oh, hey, and like, if Fisk is out, like, I've wanted to put this guy down too, but then, as you say, he's more dangerous as a martyr than he is as the Kingpin. And like, you can tell how he knows that, and that push-pull of wanting to keep Fisk alive, but for a reason that is unlike.
It's very like Bruce Wayne Joker to me, honestly. Like he doesn't want to get rid of this guy. It's like a parasocial thing. Well, not parasocial with them. It's more of like he relies on Fisk somewhat. They feed off of each other a little bit.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what Karen has suggested too. Like, it's not like a weird thing to even suggest. Karen kind of feels that way as well, sort of that Matt and Fisk exist in a similar state. You know what I mean?
Symbiotic relationship, if you will.
Yeah. Which is it's interesting, but my thing is, what do you think the correct path is? Because Matt is struggling. You see him going to the church. He's reciting a prayer. They're doing. By the way, I want to point out, I'm so glad that they're bringing that back this season. That he's dealing with the religious portion of his character, because it's such an important part of him in the comics. I'm glad they're doing it in the show as well. We got a lot of that on the Netflix show. They didn't do a lot of it in season 1. I'm glad that we're getting some of it in season 2.
It was really lacking in season 1, so I'm glad we're getting it back.
Yeah. But yeah, for me, I feel like it's just a really interesting, juxtaposition between the two characters. So let's get into the big part of the episode, and that is the end of it, where we're in the fight with Fisk and this guy, this Matterhorn character. I love that when they were getting ready to put the mouth guard in, Fisk is like, I don't need it because he's not going to hit me. He's not going to get a hit in or whatever. And I thought, okay, is he saying this because it is going to happen at the beginning and he's going to be like, fuck, I should have had the mouth guard? Or does he really believe this guy's not going to get a hit in? And I have to say, if you ever wondered how brutal Fisk is, he's still capable of doing the stuff he's been doing all these years. This fight reminded you that he is a force to be reckoned with. This is a man who knows how to fight street style, and he's very strong and hits very hard. He's going up against like a professional boxer and basically just fucking crush this dude in front of the city, which, by the way, I almost feel like, and maybe I'm wrong here because it wasn't explicitly stated in the episode, but I felt like this exhibition match was him going, look what I can do. I'm your mayor and you don't want to fuck with me because this is what I'm capable of doing. Did anybody else get that impression? I felt like that was part of what he was trying to convey in that match.
Not Franklin. Theodore Roosevelt used to hold boxing matches in the White House.
Yep.
And I think this was meant as a way to kind of evoke that in a way, in a certain respect, because to your point, he is top dog. He is the mayor, and he is basically in a way being boastful about the fact that this is what I am capable of. This is why you elected me. This is why you think I can protect you, because I can show you what I am fully capable of, even though, ironically enough, it's his actions that ultimately is the reason why Vanessa's dead.
Yep. 100%. 100%. So speaking of that, let's talk about that. So the thing is, I saw a comment about it being a trap. Yeah, we knew they were setting the trap, Dalton. That was for sure because of the way everything was going.
Yeah.
While this is going on,
that arena, you knew it was fabricated.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. They sent Buck out to take care of the captain of the Northern Star. He's been murdered now. He's dead. And the 2 Homeland Security guys that had him are both dead as well. They don't give a fuck because it's a very corrupt administration in New York. They just don't give a shit. So there's that. So he did that. He called Fisk. Fisk was happy to hear that. And then, as the match is wrapping up, Vanessa shows up in a white gown, which, by the way, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, God, she's wearing white. I know the symbolism of white and Kingpin, and it's always got something to do with blood going on white. So I immediately was concerned when I saw her show up. You could tell he was mad because he didn't want her to be there because Bullseye was coming, and he knew Bullseye was coming, and he did not want her to be in harm's way. And as Bullseye is taking out all these guys in this really fucking cool scene, by the way, again, shout out to all the fucking choreography in this episode. Just so fucking good.
Yes.
We get the scene there. He gets to the arena. Vanessa wants to get her gun because she's like, I'm going to use my gun to take out Bullseye. Keep in mind, he has an issue with her too. He doesn't like her and he doesn't like Fisk. So it doesn't matter to him one way or the other. So when she's in the arena with Fisk, he uses the Fisk, like the sculpture toy, whatever that you buy, that's made of like, I think it was crystal. So he throws it towards her. Fisk uses the belt that he won to stop it. And we're like, oh, okay, Fisk saved Vanessa. And then Daredevil swoops in and gets Bullseye. They fly out the window. More on that in a second. And so we come back in and Fisk is looking and Vanessa's like this, looking this way. And then she starts to slowly turn. I'm like, oh my God, something happened. I know something happened. She turns her head and a big chunk of that crystal is like halfway embedded into her temple of her head. And there's blood everywhere. And guess what? We got Gary's super chat here. Is Vanessa dead with the 199 super chat? I'm going to say yes, because they made it seem very clearly to me that she's bleeding out in the arena. Now, it is a comic book show, which means could she come back at some point? Maybe, but they didn't bring Foggy back yet. So I don't know. I have no idea. But as far as we're dealing with right now, let's just compartmentalize this and then look at it this way. Vanessa was hit in the head by a crystal. She looks like she's bleeding out. We know that Fisk hates vigilantes anyway. This is not good for New York City. This is really fucking bad because now we have a Kingpin. Let's just go with the assumption that she is dead. We have a Kingpin that has no moral compass anymore and has no one to calm him down. The governor doesn't want to work with him. And literally, he has a boner for murdering and abusing vigilantes. So this is what we're going to deal with if Vanessa is gone. This is fucking awful. This is awful. This is bad. This is really fucking bad. And when I saw this go down, it took me a second to think about it. I'm like, oh my God. Now we have a Kingpin with no fucking restraint whatsoever as mayor of New York City and his own personal police force, essentially.
And
yeah, you pretty much hit the nail on the head.
And if I had a nickel for every time we saw the wife of a Spider-Man villain get killed by glass to the head, I'd have 2 nickels, which is not a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Yep. You mentioned it. Spider-Man 2.
Incredible fucking episode of television. I had such a good time with it. This series keeps it keeps impressing me and like showing me that they know what they're doing. And I'm so glad they have Dario on, which I believe Dario worked with Punisher over at Netflix and now he's on Daredevil. So glad they have him on because he understood the assignment. And this is such an upgrade from season 1. It's better in every way possible. I'm so excited for where it's going. I just love that we have this show in the Marvel Universe that feels like a upgrade from what we had, but not a detour from what we had. Like it feels like Daredevil from Netflix made better, but not on a road that we don't recognize. Everything feels so good. I do miss Foggy, and I'll keep saying that. He's one of the characters that I really wish we still had on the show. I understand why we're where we are. It is what it is. I love this episode. I think this is exactly the kind of shit that I want. I want to sit here for the next 7 days wondering what the fuck Kingpin is going to do when we get to episode 5, because I think it's going to be crazy unless episode 5 is a side story, which I will be like, damn it. But maybe it is. I don't know. And you said, Phil, this is the MVP episode for you, right? This is the one where you're...
Yeah, and I also told you that I wish that they would have done 4 and 5 together instead of 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Because 5 picks up really where this one leaves off, and that's all I'm going to say about it.
All right.
I'm
excited for it.
It should have been. In my opinion, it would have been the better 2-parter to do.
Jake, what did you think of the episode?
I mean, shit. In case it wasn't clear enough, I dug the hell out of this episode. I mean, I really liked Bullseye coming back into this series, and this episode just kind of proved why.
Yeah, in my review that's coming out tomorrow, I'm really glad we got this because Bullseye in season 3 had a specific purpose, and we didn't really get to dig into the layers of who Bullseye is as a character.
Yeah.
Right now, they are showing Bullseye so much love on Born Again that thank God we're getting all of these really cool stories now that we wouldn't have got because Netflix considered they were like, we're not doing any more Daredevil. Right. So I'm really glad that we got the continuation of this.
I still think my favorite parts of the episode were that whole drama in the action sequence between Matt, Fisk, and Bullseye, where you see Matt split down the middle of what to do.
we got a super chat here from Cody. It's about the show. $5 super chat. If you saw the video from Charlie Cox and discussing film earlier, you know exactly what season 3 is. There's a discussing film video with Charlie Cox.
News to me.
Wait, hold on. Let me see.
I haven't seen one.
I mean, I know how the season ends up, but I don't know what exactly they're referring to.
Yeah, let me see. Hold on.
And I'd rather them not possibly spoil anything in the chat. Because you just never know.
Yeah.
Let me see what this is. I'm not going to watch it now, but I am curious. Yeah, there's a 7-minute interview with discussing film. So
interesting.
I might react to that this week. Let me know in the chat. Give me a thumbs up if you want me to watch it and react to it, because I can add that. I've got one free day this week to do a video. So if you guys want to see that on the Reloaded channel, give me a thumbs up and I'll react to that video. Cody, thank you for the super chat and pointing this out, because I would love to talk about that and see. All right, I think that's pretty much it for all of the topics. So I think we're gonna wrap it up there, unless anybody's got any more super chats. We're gonna hide the banner. Just keep doing what you're doing, Daredevil Born Again. That's all I gotta say. You're making me happy with everything I'm getting so far.
I need to get my Kevin Smith Guardian Devil graphic novel out of that chest and reread it.
Let me make sure I didn't miss any super chats here.
You can check out the new book from Stephanie Phillips too.
That's what I heard. I heard that it's actually really good.
So without getting into too much detail, Matt is now teaching law at Harvard Law.
Oh, okay.
That's what he's doing in Stephanie Phillips' book. But he comes across an antagonist looking for Matt Murdock, and this antagonist whoops his ass. So pretty fun stuff. I enjoyed it. I really liked it.
So I guess Matt literally didn't see it coming.
Oh, God.
Literally.
Lone Wolf with the $5 super chat. Theory I told Boba, Matt ends up in jail and Iron Fist takes up the Daredevil mantle in season 3 like in the comics. I wish Phil could hit it. What episode? Oh, God. It's coming this season. We know it's coming. Wait for it. Just be very patient.
Hey, well, I mean, there's another character that I brought up earlier that's taken up the Daredevil mantle before.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, we're gonna be Lone Wolf. We're gonna watch it anyway, so we'll get to it. We get to it. I think it's I'm actually. So let me tell you what I'm loving about the season. A ton of stuff isn't getting spoiled. We're getting little spoilers here and there, but a ton of stuff isn't getting spoiled, which I think has made it a lot more fun for me because I go into each episode having an idea of what's going to happen, but not getting completely spoiled on anything. So
now I'll say this: do you think some of this stuff would be having the same effect, like this show that we saw tonight? Do you think they would have shown what they did if we didn't already know Jessica Jones was back?
Oh, you mean like if it hadn't been spoiled with like behind the scenes photo or paparazzi photos? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they also came out and announced it officially at an event. So like, if that wasn't known, do you think...
I think it was okay for them to put it in the mid-season trailer. I wouldn't have put it in like the main trailer.
I don't know. I guess I just know that there are some people out there that are like, they started this season and they're just waiting for Jessica Jones to show up. And I just wonder if some of this season would have that same buzz if people didn't already know that was happening.
I will say, thank God it's not a binge model because we would be done with it now. You know what I mean? By now. And as much as I love the idea of sitting down and binging something as a fan, it's really bad for the health of the shows to binge stuff.
Yeah. Because, dude, like fucking Wonder Man, I think one of the biggest issues with it is that it was all at once.
We'll see if they do that again. They might not do that next year. They might do it week to week, but
this is actually something that Netflix is doing with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Steel Ball Run. The second stage is set for fall of 2026, but it's going to be weekly episodes.
So Netflix is learning. They're learning.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. If people want to binge something, just wait till it's done, and then you can watch it all then. You know what I mean? Like at that point. If you love something enough, you'll watch it week to week. If you can wait for the binge, then you don't care about spoilers. That's just the way I feel about it. You know what I mean?
Right. I guess you can teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah.
All right. With that being said, we're going to do our shout outs for tonight before we wrap things up. Let's do clockwise. So, Phil, they can find you at Unfiltered with 3Ds there.
That's correct. Everywhere except Twitter.
Fuck Twitter.
Fuck Twitter. I'm on Vero Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky, TikTok. You can find me there.
Okay. Go check out Phil's content, and thank you for being here, Phil. I do appreciate it.
Of course, man.
We have Jake down below. Jake, tell them where to find you in case they don't know.
Find me right there, Joypad Jake on YouTube and the rest of the socials. Got my own show, Jake's Lost Levels, on Sundays. We took a break this past Sunday for Easter, but we're going to be back this upcoming Sunday with what I'm assuming, unless I majorly screw the pooch, I'm going to say it's probably my final numbered Arkham City stream, because I'm very close to getting my 100% back on that, and then Arkham Knight will take the place of it. And if I ever stream that game again, it'll just be like a random challenge map stream that's not numbered. But yeah, I've got a number of videos coming out in between now and that stream. So yeah, look forward to those.
Okay. Chris says, is there a Copecast this week? Yes, tomorrow. I'm going to schedule it as soon as we're done with this. It'll be 3:30 Eastern time tomorrow till 5. So it's an hour and a half tomorrow. For anybody that wants to come watch me react to the hater content and make fun of them. I love doing that. As far as everything goes for me, guys, you can catch me here tomorrow on the Debunks channel. Like I said, with the Copecast, Thursday with another Nocturnal Nerdcast. I have a reaction video on Debunks coming out tomorrow. I have a review for Daredevil where I watch the podcast coming out tomorrow, then another Daredevil video on Thursday, and then a different video on Friday, and another reaction video on Debunks on Thursday. So basically, you just have to subscribe to my channel. There's just so much stuff coming out for me to talk about. So
did you say what one, or did I miss that part?
No, we're gonna do that right now. That was the very next thing I was gonna do. Yeah, cool. We're gonna see what everybody picked. All right, over on the Debunks channel, you guys, I offered a bonus stream for the Copecast. We'll get an additional Copecast, and you guys picked what day did they pick? Tuesday afternoon. All right, so we'll do a Copecast next week on a Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for donating over at the Debunks channel. And now we're going to look at what you guys voted on for the Reloaded channel. Let's see what we got here. With a 48%, a huge, overwhelming majority of people voted for comic book castings with wasted potential.
All right, cool. So I bring that one back after months, and it finally wins.
Yeah, it did. It won. It won by a lot, actually.
Cool.
Mine was at the bottom. Fuck, mine was like 19%.
Which one was yours?
The worst movies that got sequels. I guess people don't give a fuck about that. Fuck my choice, I say. No, yours was like double everybody's. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much. We are going to wrap it up, and I will see everyone again tomorrow for the Copecast. If not, I'll see everybody here on Thursday for another Nerdcast. Take care. Hey there, if you're seeing this, that means we have reached the end of the stream. Thanks so much for your continued support with comments, likes, subscriptions, super stickers, and super chats. I just want to give a special shout out to all of the channel members who have contributed to the success of this channel with paid tiers. On the screen, you will see your name displayed as a signal of appreciation from myself and the channel. If you would like to see your name on this list, consider selecting a tier with the join or plus button, depending on your platform. Thanks again, everyone. Let's hang out soon in the next stream, and I'll see you then.